ABR Live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I'm not sure where to start. First of all, the SNAP benefits. Oh, they're going crazy over the food stamps, over the stamps, over the EBT, over the government benefits that they shouldn't really be entitled to, but I'm getting triggered already, so we'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, government shutdown, day 29. Do we need the government that much? I can't tell. I went to the airport. Hey, they said, oh, TSA going to be out of control, all this, that, and the third. I took a flight on Sunday, and yes, it was packed, but yes, it also moved smoothly because guess what? In my humble opinion, the good employees stayed and kept the party rocking better than having everybody there. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, we got a crazy motorcycle chase out there in, what was that? Inland Empire, California. Crazy man went and shot somebody. He shot a cop when they responded to domestic violence. That's why I always try to avoid domestic violence. Somebody getting beat up in the upstairs apartment, what you want me to do? Intervene and get shot myself? We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, we got hurricanes out in the Caribbean, hurricanes on the East Coast. We got Nick Fuentes with her Carlson. That's creating a whole big stir. We'll talk about all those things and a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Man, the food stamp stuff is crazy. I mean, good grief. You're starting to see why government benefits, why government dependence is a bad thing. And I've been saying it for years, ever since I first started. When you're talking about all this welfare and government handouts, all you're doing is incentivizing people to do nothing. Incentivizing them to just pretty much sit on their hind parts and collect government monies. If you could just sit on your butt and do nothing and get money, then why would you want to go work? They say Americans don't want to work, while at the same time incentivize people to not work. You cannot have us live this softly. A nation, a country, a city, a state, we can't survive like that. It can't happen. And this is part of the reason the government benefits why people are so soft, because they feel entitled to everything. I saw something, that might have been the picture, video, I don't even know where it's at. It got lost in the ether. But I saw it where there was an ability to buy items from 7-Eleven, like food or whatever you want, and have it delivered to your house with SNAP benefits. Now, I'm confused. Maybe I'm just too old. I feel like sometimes the things people do, it makes no sense to me. Okay, if you are on government benefits, if you are a poor person, if you're struggling with money, what could you possibly need from 7-Eleven that's got to get delivered to your house? I mean, you can't go get that. You can't actually, I mean, what did you do before Uber Eats existed? How did you actually survive? You got to have stuff handcrafted and brought to your doors like a king. You say no kings, you want to be the king. You want to be the king. Have a chef and, I don't know, a lab somewhere, a chemist, make your food for you, wrap it up, make it look pretty, and then deliver it straight to your doorstep. Is that what you want? If you're doing that and broke at the same time, I don't get it. I never understood that. I've been broke with no money, no car, no nothing, and I've never even thought that I could even do that. Why would I do that when I need to just go to the store and not walk to the store or catch the bus to the store? So don't tell me I'm in no food desert. That's the dumbest excuse in the world. If it ain't no grocery store right next to you, you are an able-bodied adult. Get on the bus and go to where you got to go. Back in my day, the bus was like, what, $1.50? How much is it now? It ain't that much. It ain't that much. It's going to be cheaper to get on the bus, go to the grocery store, or walk to the grocery store and get groceries for the week than it is to get Uber Eats every night. How you going to get Uber Eats every night and complain about not having no money and at the same time be on food stamps? Make that make sense. And then y'all want to sell the food stamps. You want to give the food stamps. I'm getting triggered. My point is this. People are soft and they're lazy and they're being incentivized to do so. They're being incentivized to be like that by the federal government. And I like the new work requirements. Okay, you got to have 80 hours a month, which is 20 hours a week of working a job or volunteering 20 hours, or you're in school 20 hours a week, 80 hours a month. I mean, that's literally nothing. That's literally nothing. Okay, I might do that just on GP and not even get no money to show you how easy it is and still do this. It's not hard. People want to call somebody for any kind of little inconvenience they have. They want to call somebody to their house, 3 blind mice. Oh, I got a roach at my house. I got to call Terminex right now. It's like no home remedies, no other way of problem solving. You just got to spend all your money you have and then say you broke. No other way to fix what you got going on. No other way to go out there and work and get some money. I saw a dude, we're going to show that video in a minute. The dude said, how can I work 80 hours in a month? I got kids. I'm like, bro, listen to me very well. Both of my parents worked and they went hard. My mom had 2 jobs. My dad had 4 jobs. And I'm not even making nothing up. Shout out to the Jamaicans. We were just like y'all. My dad was a firefighter and you work 24-hour shifts, 9 days or 10 days a month. When you're not doing 24-hour shifts, you can work other jobs. You can do whatever you want to do. He was a security guard. He worked at like Home Depot or something like this, Quikrete. He did stuff like that. Up to, at one point, 4 jobs, but at least always about 2. And his top role was as a captain in the fire department, making like $6,000 a year, $65,000 in a year, top role. And when he was in his 50s. And my mom always worked. Both of my parents worked very hard, and we were never on government assistance. And we in the hood too. In the hood, no government assistance. It's called hard work. You start at a certain point, you don't got a lot of money when you're young. And you just keep building it, building it, building. Now my mom owns a house outright. She chilling. She just traveling, living her best life. Okay, now my dad unfortunately passed away, but why? Because he sacrificed his body to go out there and work that job. But now they don't want to sacrifice nothing. Oh, I can't. Hey, man, I got kids. How can I work 80 hours? That's 20 hours a week, bro. 20 hours. That's nothing. Especially when I was young. Even right now, I can still do it. But when I was young, especially, man, please. Hey, let me work every holiday. Let me work any kind of extra hours I can get. You want to, hey, ABL, do you want this shift? Yeah, let me get that. Let me get them 8 hours so I can go get that money. People now are just too soft. They don't want to do nothing. But again, they're being incentivized to be that way from the federal government. If you are a senior citizen or if you are disabled, I don't want you to say nothing in the chat. Hey, if you are a senior citizen or you're disabled, don't rebuttal me at all in the chat because it's not even about you. Don't get offended. I'm talking about the able-bodied people that just sit on their hind parts, eat cheese nips, cheese nips all day, and I don't care what color you are, black, white, Puerto Rican, candy stripe. This is crazy, but you know what? We're going to see. Part of me almost feels like I'm kind of being a little mean when I say this, but hear me out. Part of me wants this to happen because sometimes it takes for something to happen for y'all to just get the idea, for y'all to really learn and know, you know what? I cannot depend upon the government. I cannot just have other people do things for me. What can I do for myself? How can I make sure I'm on the right path to get what I need without relying upon the government? Part of me wants it to happen, but I know people have been trained. It's like, okay, if you raise a dog in captivity and let it out in the wild, that's kind of what it's like with a lot of these people. But sometimes, hey, man, sometimes it's like throwing a baby in the pool. Psh, hey, he gonna be all right. He know how to swim. He ain't gonna drown. That's kind of how I feel like they gotta do with y'all. Not you guys, because you guys are perfect. You guys are not going to be lazy bums, 25 years old, smoking blunts, on food stamps, you know, shooting drugs up and your hind parts on food stamps. That ain't going to be y'all. Y'all are going to be out there working hard, taking care of your family, doing the right thing in society. If you are disabled or elderly, again, it's not even about you. Okay. Like my grandma and them, they don't work, but they in their 80s. They're like 85, 86. How they going to work? But even they could work more than a lot of these people here. Even they do things around their houses that a lot of people who are much younger than them, younger than me, younger than y'all, don't even want to do. Even in their late 80s. My great-grandmother was like, I saw her, real story, true story. I saw my great-grandmother at 85 years old out in the yard pulling weeds out. Y'all be 20 years old and call a service to come pick the weed out of the ground. That's the difference. Y'all soft. Again, not you guys, because you guys don't do that, I would suppose, especially the men. But you understand what I'm saying. That's what's going on right now with this country. So, hey, we going to see come Saturday. That's the cutoff date. If the money is not appropriated by then there's no USDA funding of the government SNAP food stamp program. However, some states say they're going to fund it. At least one state I saw, Virginia, Glenn Youngkin said, we're going to fund that on the state level. They say there's some money available from the federal government, but it's not supposed to be for SNAP. It's for other things, and it'll only be like 2 weeks. So you're still going to have to fix it after that. You exhaust that money and still are at the same impasse. What's going to change? If they exhaust this money that's supposed to be used for something else on the food stamps for like 2 weeks, the money runs out, and you got to come right back to the table. What would change between that moment and this moment where you can't actually agree on any kind of funding? The fundamental issue is the Democrats want healthcare, free healthcare for illegal aliens. That's the underlying issue here. That is a problem. And we say, no, we don't want to do that. We want to put Americans first. All right, shout out to the illegal aliens, but hey, man, we got our own issues here. We have our own citizens dealing with issues. We got to make sure we could do the best for them first. Now, if you're here illegally, man, I don't know what to tell you. We told you when we got Trump in office. We told you during the campaign, illegal aliens about to go right back over the wall. We had the memes. We did the whole campaign. Hey, the wall going to be 15 foot higher. The wall's going to reach heaven. You're not going to be able to climb it. You're not coming across. We're going to enforce the border policy. We're bringing out ICE agents. We said that. People didn't want to listen. Now, people on the news, sad, crying. Hey, man, what you want us to do? At this point, especially, it's been months now since Trump's been in office. You can self-deport and there won't be no issues. It'll give you a free ride back to the house. We'll make sure that you're straight. And I'll be seeing y'all in the airports doing whatever you want to do. First class, with a little note on your book bag in your language. Send you right back to your country of origin. Hasta la vista. But nah, y'all want to just do whatever. Okay. Well, watch this. Hey, watch this. You're going to be at McDonald's and you're going to see ICE agent pull up and throw you in the vehicle. And then it's over with. Hey, man, you got two choices. You can go to this detention facility or you could just get a free flight back to the crib. What's up? But if they got to do all that, then they got the 10-year ban. You can avoid all that by just going back home. Self-deporting, they'll give you a ride. Philip says 1.6 million people self-deported. There we go. And that's got to be something that we really highlight because some people are disappointed with the deportation numbers, but they are not counting the self-deportations. That counts. If we tell you to self-deport or get deported and 1.6 million self-deport compared to 500,000 that have to get physically removed, I see it as a benefit. We're using the least amount of force. We are providing them with a safe way home, giving them a free ticket. We're doing it in a very humane way. We're doing it better than Barack Obama. I don't know what he was doing. It wasn't no self-deportation as far as I know. Maybe y'all wrong. I think it was just straight up ICE agents get in the vehicle, and have that be that. But with us, we're saying, hey, here's a ticket and that's it. And it's okay. It's no problem. No fuss, no muss, no issue. Just go on and go ahead. So I think that it's important to highlight that. What was that? 1.4 million self-deported. That's a really important thing to highlight. It really, really is. So yeah, shout out to y'all who self-deported. That was the right thing. And I would want anyone who wants to come legally to come back legally, go through the avenues to come into the country. I have no problem with legal immigration. See, some guys don't like immigration at all. I'm not that kind of person. I think some immigration is good, but it's got to be something that makes sense. It can't just be illegal alien coming across. What we don't need in this country are criminals, people that don't want to work, people that mooch off the government. I'm seeing some of these videos, guys talking about, you know what, I'm a refugee from X, Y, and Z place, and without SNAP benefits, I cannot live in this country. Okay, then why are you over here? I don't want no bump on the law. If you're going to be like ineffective as an adult, just a body, I mean, I don't see the point you being over here, man. Refugee or no refugee, I don't really understand. It's like, okay, you are a refugee in this country, but somehow you able to get high on drugs and all kind of other stuff. Somehow you're able to have a bunch of kids over here, new kids, a wife and everything else, but you can't take care of yourself. How about you prioritize taking care of yourself first and then start your family and then enjoy your vices? But see, people that come from places where that's not the culture don't even understand that. That's why you got to have a good vetting process to get people in here. So they come from a place, and if they don't come from that kind of place where that culture is present, they have to understand how to adapt in this country. Rather than being the bump on the law, be productive. That's what I would say. So yeah, shout out to you guys who are legal immigrants and do things the right way. Shout out to you. That's what I like to see. And also, says some right here giving shout out. Shout out to TSA and air traffic control, the guys and girls who showed up to work, who are showing up to work. Shout out to you guys. I flew on Sunday in Hartsfield-Jackson. Y'all know my airport. The line was jumping. It was a packed line. It appeared to be crowded, but the TSA line, it moved quick. You in and out of TSA in 15 minutes. You could get to the airport less than an hour before your flight and have plenty of time. 45 minutes to a half hour before your flight. Go through TSA and get to your gate and your flight on time. I would say at least 45 minutes, you'd be good. Now, you hearing people talk about, oh, well, there's so many call-offs and the time is long. It's not that bad. Not where I was at, Hartsfield-Jackson. And I think, you know what I was thinking when I was there? I'm like, you know what? Pardon me. They should privatize this, because I've flown from there many times. Normally, they have more people, but it's not as fluid the way it was running. This time, everything was like a well-oiled machine. It was better. It was more efficient because the good crew were there. They made sure everything was flowing as necessary. You should privatize TSA. I think that'll make it be a lot more efficient, in my humble opinion. That's just what I think. What do y'all think? Should they privatize TSA, or should it be a government entity? Or should it remove TSA? Maybe. I don't know if we at that point yet, because I got so many tricky little devices, so many tricky little gadgets. I don't know if we could do that quite yet, but definitely privatize it. If not, go ahead and just eliminate it. If you privatized it, it wouldn't be as bloated. It'd be more efficient, and it'd be the correct guys and girls there, making sure that things are moving smoothly. So what do y'all think? Should they privatize it? Get rid of TSA? Abolish TSA? Okay. Let me see. You hate TSA? And you know the funny part, I ain't even gonna say that. But TSA can definitely be streamlined, and you can make it run more efficiently without it being part of the government. The government usually does not do things very well. A lot of government employees sitting in their high parts to do nothing. Y'all got that mouse jiggler. I ain't even know nothing about that. Like, you have this device where you put your mouse on it and it moves the mouse for you automatically. So when you work from home, what happens is they log your activity, if your mouse moving and stuff like this, to see if you're working. And if you got the mouse jiggler, it can fool the program to think that you're actually there working when you're not. They put the mouse jiggler on and go straight to the club. They go straight to a cruise. They go straight to wherever they want to do. They do nothing all day. Netflix, naps, chilling with the mouse jiggler. Privatize a lot of these. Privatize TSA. You're going to see a better run system in general. Okay. So a lot of you guys say abolish TSA. Okay. Cigar says, I remember what airport security was like before TSA. This is better. Okay. B. Gatlin says a lot of government jobs should be privatized. I agree. For sure. There's too many government jobs. I think I saw Josh Shapiro, the guy who should have been Kamala's running mate, but could not be because he's Jewish and Democrats hate the Jays right now. But anyway, I saw him say that the majority of Pennsylvania's jobs are from the government. That's not a flex. That reflects a poor economy in your state. If the majority of your jobs are from the government, that's not a flex. Because if the government cannot provide these jobs, what would the citizenry do? Do you need that much government in a place? A lot of that is just red tape, unnecessary. It doesn't really get anything accomplished. You pushing papers, you just moving stuff around, not getting anything done. It's not an efficient way to operate. It just seems like useless work for people to have a job really doing nothing. That's just my humble opinion, but we'll see. Okay, too many jobs doing nothing. I agree. I 100% agree. Imagine that says TSA evolved after 9/11 in the Patriot Act. Yeah. Caesar says, I love TSA. They are the best. They have the best hospitality. Is that sarcasm? Taking electronics out the bag. Shout out to them though. But nah, TSA, they cool. Like as long as you know what you're doing, like especially like Hartsfield, if you go there and you know what you're doing, you never have a problem. If you are not an experienced traveler, that's when you have the issues. Like I see people taking their shoes off still. It's like, all right, keep your shoes on. Like, let's get with it. A guy came up to me recently. Hey man, how do I check in? I've not traveled in years. People that don't know what they're doing, they're going to be kind of lost and they might be a sore spot for TSA workers. But if you know what you got going on, I don't even really see the TSA. I just go to where I got to go and then that's it. That's pretty much how it is. Cigar says, the airlines are responsible for providing the funding for the airport security. As usual, the airports went with the lowest bid security company. Oh, is that right? Well, hey, I don't even know nothing about that. But as far as what you mean, TSA, I think that's a government entity. I don't know about anything beyond that. But y'all let me know if I'm wrong. Lindsay says, remember that poor woman who was found deceased at her work desk days after she passed away? Federal job, I think, maybe Texas a couple of years ago. It's so bad. It's so bad. Yeah, they don't even really care. You just kind of a cog in the machine. You got to have people that work more and do more things independently. More businesses need to be started up. Like I said, if I was young right now, my goodness, it'd be the perfect time to go out there and get money. I almost want to do it right now. Part of me says, you know what? Let me start a lawn care business. And if I started a lawn care business, I'd make six figures in the first year for sure. Absolutely. Because I already see where I would go. I already know what to do. I talked to guys. They told me everything I need to know. I could do it. If I was young and I was just trying to figure out what I wanted to do, I most certainly would do that. Rather than relying on the government, rather than trying to get a federal job where I just jiggle a mouse, because I know at a certain point, this kind of thing is too easy and it can be taken away any moment. You got the mass layoffs that happen, prime example. And we're going to keep having more layoffs on the federal level. A lot of these useless jobs that don't do anything. You have to understand, if your job is not really, you don't really do anything, your job is dispensable. Your job is disposable. You need to have something that can't necessarily just be done away with. People always got to get their grass cut. They always got to get things done to their house. I'd be a handyman and a lawnman. I would easily make $250 off the first year, immediately. First year, get me an old pickup truck and some tools, some Harbor Freight, the Harbor Freight starter kit, $500. It gets you everything. It gets you a cordless drill, a saw. It gets you, a shovel, some hammers, some nails, a nail gun, and you good. Go out there and get money. Rather than relying upon the government. But I'm getting triggered, so I digress. And shout out to you guys out there in Jamaica, out there in the Caribbean, out there on the East Coast. I've seen some videos. I'm seeing videos of people out there in the Outer Banks, North Carolina, with the houses still falling in the water. Why would you build a house right on the water, like on the pilings? Why would you do that? They're gonna fall. And people talking about climate change. If there's no more cows farting and no more cars, you gotta have an EV, a Tesla. All right, well, bring that Tesla out there to the beach and let it get it submerged with water. It won't be no more good forever. Now, a flood card might be bad as well, but if you get a EV with flood damage, forget about it. Go ahead and get another one. But people don't really get it that it's not your vehicles and the cows farting. It's just the earth doing what it's going to do. It's the sun doing what it's going to do. How dare we human beings think that we have more control over this planet than the planet itself and the sun? You know how big and powerful the sun is. What you going to do as a human being to change that? Nothing. The planet's going to go through cycles and you got to adapt to it. Ain't no carbon emission credits and the scam they're trying to come up with going to do anything. Nothing at all. So maybe if you keep seeing that there are storms on the ocean front, on these little barrier islands, don't put a house right there. Just maybe. Common sense tell you that, but whatever. Whatever. But yeah, shout out to Jamaica. I got a cousin, it was like my aunt from Jamaica, and she was telling me that when a storm come, normally they would get high up in the mountains to avoid the coastal damage. That's what they would tell me normally. So hopefully the damage is not too bad, and most important, hopefully the lives of there's not many losses of life. I think I saw like 7 the last time I checked, but it may have unfortunately risen. But it could have been a lot worse in Jamaica. It's a pretty populated island, a lot of people, and a big storm. But shout out to you guys. All right. Most Mundane says, one more cow fart is over for us. That's right. If one more bacon, if one more hamburger, if one more whatever, just it's going to be over with. Nuclear winter. Okay. Nuclear winter. That's pretty much what it is. That's right. Yep. Mountains in Jamaica. Absolutely. Mountains create bad flooding. It depends on what part of the mountain that you in. If you're in the mountain with a valley like they had in North Carolina, yeah, if you get up there, but you want to just get to high ground all the time. Get to high ground, and you don't want to be down in the valley. So even if you're in the mountains, but in the valley, you still want to get to high ground. You could tell if you're in the mountains, like where I live, it's like a valley, but you could see mountains around. So we have elevation here, but still you could go higher than that. Go up there to the peaks outside of the valley to avoid the flood water flooding your area, because gravity says the water going to go down. And if you got a valley, it'll go into a bowl like this. And up at the peaks, you're going to be good because the water will go down from there. Like my house is on a small hill. So whenever it rains, it don't flood in the backyard because it go down. Now, I don't know about them in the back. Hopefully they be all right during the storm. Hopefully everything be all right. Hopefully they don't get in the water in their back door. But hey, I'm glad it's not me. I am glad that it's not me. But thank y'all for watching. I definitely appreciate y'all. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoyed the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Mauricio says, is there such thing as non-mountainous islands? Maybe, I guess. If you got some of these little small islands, I guess there's some that's like that. I don't really know. That's a good question. I would assume that there are some mountains some islands that's not mountainous. Oh, it's a category 2 now. Jay says, here in Florida, hurricanes are like earthquakes. Great time for fishing. Hey, some of y'all be out there in the hurricane braving it, because a lot of times the hurricane don't be that bad. You know, because sometimes, a lot of times it get over exaggerated. It says it's going to be a Cat 5, and then it might not be in the Cat 2 when it hits you. So it's like a rainstorm, just like a regular storm. It's not really that bad. If you get hit, it's not that common to get a direct Cat 5 hit with catastrophic results. Even with New Orleans, when Katrina hit, it wasn't in the hurricane. It wasn't in the wind and the rain at that moment of the hurricane coming through. It was the levees breaking and then massive flooding happening in certain areas. I think that was done on purpose to a certain extent to clear out those areas to make the city more desirable, but that ain't really work. New Orleans is kind of messed up because of the legacy of French governance, the worst colonizers in the whole world, the absolute worst. The French, they suck so bad. They're the worst. If you're from France or you're French, shout out to you. But the French colonizers were the worst. Look at Haiti, and look at the condition of Haiti compared to Jamaica or DR. The best colonizers were the British, the Kingdom of Great Britain. They were the best, followed by the Spaniards, followed by the Portuguese, which is just the water Spaniards, the coastal Spaniards, and then I would say maybe the Belgium. Nah, the French and then the Belgian. The Belgians were worse too. They were terrible. But the French, awful. The legacy of French governance in New Orleans is why the city is not as desirable as it should be, in my humble opinion. Devin says, what don't the French suck at? Exactly. Exactly. There you go. Hey, I'm right there with you. That's how I feel. That is how I feel. And the French Canadians, yeah. The French Canadians, isn't it out there? I don't know where that's at. Where they're having, that's Nova Scotia. Were they French? I don't even know. I don't even care. Shout out to Canada, though, if you're living out there. Shout out to the Canadians. But I saw that they were doing the gun buyback in Nova Scotia. Not a good look at all. And the Danish, well, what colonies did they have? What were the Danish colonies? Y'all let me know. Okay, the croissants, making toast. Yeah, nah. The little loaves of bread. That's their claim to fame. All right, that's fine. Nah, shout out to the Kingdom of Great Britain, man. They were the best colonizers. If you're going to rank them, the best European colonizers. They were the greatest. Okay. Oh, Quebec, yeah. New Brunswick, France. Okay. Jay says the French Canadians. Why are you even the country? French were the best. Shout out from Cambodia, where the French destroyed and bounced. Oh man, that's right. I forgot. I almost forgot about that. Cambodia. Were they in Vietnam as well? Yeah, they were terrible. Southeast Asia, they were awful. They were the worst, man. Oh my goodness. Okay, but the Kingdom of Great Britain, Hong Kong was like the jewel of that area. Now China got it. It's gonna be like a regular Chinese place. Denmark has Greenland allegedly, yeah, but they're the same people, kind of, sort of. I think the Greenland people are like native, like Eskimo type people. They're not the Europeans, but a lot of the Danish went to Greenland to colonize them. They don't really have that much. That's all they got is Greenland, and we could take that. It won't be no problem with no war. They be like, hey man, here go a box of chicken and just get it up, man. Ain't no point in trying to fight. What y'all gonna do, really? Because if it's not us to get Greenland, it'd be China or Russia, respectfully, because of the location geographically. Somebody got to take it. It's got to be us or China or Russia. So, hey, man, we'll take that. Thank you. Don't worry about it. Just y'all just keep doing what you do down there in Europe. Did they have Laos as well? The Dutch islands. Okay, so Najana, thank you. Najana Ferguson says the Danish had Curacao, Aruba, Bonaire, St. Martin, and the Caribbean. They don't really have that much. It's kind of like, I'm not really gonna. Okay, shout out to Curacao, all of the, some of those islands, St. Martin. Okay, and don't they share St. Martin with another colonizer? They spell it with the 2 A's, and the other one spell it with the AR. They don't really have any possessions. Like the Kingdom of Great Britain, they had the United States. they built the United States. Australia, like, actual place that you want to go. The French, they had part of the United States and sold it to us. Thank you. We appreciate it. What else? Canada, but the English got that. So that's part of the Kingdom of Great Britain as well. They don't really have much. They're just bad colonizers. Anyway, I'm talking a lot. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Is St. Martin the French side? Hilarious. Of course, right? You got one island that's split by the French and the Danish. That's hilarious. Of course it's the French, because why not? All right. Yeah, beautiful places in the Caribbean, but it's no USA. It's no Australia, not even Canada. Louisiana Purchase, that's right, Paula, absolutely. Sylvian says the French Antilles, who are still French territory today, are doing way better than Haiti. I've not even seen what the French Antilles are doing. How big is the population? Where is it located? Y'all let me know. But we got a lot to discuss, a lot to cover. Shout out to you guys again for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Also, this is an audio streaming platform you're listening to right now, an audio streaming podcast you're listening to right now. You can hear it on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether that be Google Play, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, etc. Link for that will always be in the description box, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform, search ABL Live, and that should pop right on up. I'll post this episode at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, Eastern, and I'll do the same thing for the Saturday show, 8 a.m. the next day, Eastern. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platforms. But also, shout out to the sponsors. You guys, of course, for watching. You know, I couldn't do it without you, but shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the description, or visit patriotpost.us in your browser. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also, please go to the regular website. Hold on. No, I'm messing up. I'm excited. Go to the merch website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the merch website, ablmerch.com. Link for that will always be in the box, or go to it in your browser, ablmerch.com. Now go to the regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. I have articles for each long form video that I produce. And in each article, we got sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the Democratic, Republican, political, agnostic, local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it right there on the front page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. Also, please go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. There you're able to find my email address, my snail address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. All those links are right there on the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. And as I always say, if you think someone is speaking to you who is me on the interwebs, you're probably not talking to me at all. It's probably a scammer, unless you sent me an email and I responded. And my email is contact@anthonyblogan.com. Again, contact@anthonyblogan.com. The email is always on the contact page of the website. You find it right there in the box. Check it out. You don't got to remember. But you know if somebody's scamming you if they're going to use their email, or if they're in the comment section, if they're anywhere on the interwebs talking about Bitcoin foreign exchange. Hey, go to Family Dollar, buy some gift cards, send them to me, all this, that, and the third. Please don't do that. Don't be the lady that's in the grocery store getting stopped by a cashier talking about, you don't want to do that, man. You're being scammed. Please don't do that. I would never ask you for any monies on the interwebs that way, unless you want to donate through the links in the box. That's it. Y'all know who is going to be on the other end of that. It's going to be a guy, Lagos, Nigeria, 18 deep in a one-bedroom hut, or it's going to be a guy over in Eastern Europe, Boris and Natasha, if he dies, he dies, or it's going to be a guy over in India, hello, come again, curry goat, all of that. That's what it's going to be, okay? Do not allow yourself to be scammed by a guy talking like this. It's not a good look for you in 2025. I don't recommend. So shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Now, let's show a little bit of that hurricane footage out there in Jamaica. And again, shout out to the Jamaicans. Hopefully everything is all good with y'all. Hopefully you guys are safe. You didn't get hit by the storm. You didn't get flooded or anything like that. Now, if you've not been in the big storm like this, if you've not been out there like when it's raining like this, it can be fun.
My side, and you see that? Yo! When you see that, my side?
Look at the height of that wave. That's how it could be. And when you got a hurricane or something coming, any kind of big storm, sometimes people don't understand that water. When that water is coming and it's high like that, and it's a lot of it, you can't do anything about it. There's nothing you could do. It will sweep you away. You're not going to be able to power through it. You can't swim fast enough, but they look like they good. They had a good distance. And again, the best thing to do is to go up high. Go up to high ground so the water's not going to be able to do that with the storm surge, with the high waves. And if you got a lot of rain, you're not going to be in the place of flooding because the water will go downhill. Again, if you're in a valley like this, at the bottom of the valley, you want to get up. Even if you're in the mountain, but if you're in the valley, you're at the place where the water's going to come down. It's just gravity. So get to high ground. So shout out to you guys out there in Jamaica. And the cars, look, I done got almost flooded in the car too. I got almost flooded in the car. I was on the interstate and a flash flood hit. And it was, you couldn't see nothing at all. I was going to pull over, but I knew that I couldn't pull over because I would get flooded. So I'm trying to just drive as slow as possible to get to an exit and get under some shelter and get to a place where it wasn't going to be flooding like that. Because, yeah, when that water comes, there's nothing you can do. It's going to get you and sweep you away. Now, this is out here in in North Carolina. Have you guys seen this? Some of these houses that are on these pilings. You see these houses? Listen, I see these houses all the time, or I would see them, especially when I was younger. I'm like, they're not going to last because that's not going to be enough to stop that water from coming in. You get a storm surge, your house will be in the water.
More houses have collapsed into the ocean off North Carolina's Outer Banks, crashing waves and 50-mile-per-hour winds causing erosion there, with 5 more houses falling down. So far, 15 homes have been lost in the town of Buxton alone.
It's like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing? And the thing about it is the debris from those houses, all the stuff inside, all the construction materials, nails, glass, wood, all of that is going to be in the water and wash up on beaches. Look, all of that is going to go in the water. All these sharp edges, all of that is going to be in the water. You shouldn't build a house right there on these barrier islands. It's not, oh, here's Jamaica. I'm not sure where this is, but I know Outer Banks. You shouldn't build on no barrier island. Let's see this about Jamaica. Yeah, I think that's just flooding right there. It's just flooding in one place. In Montego Bay. Y'all let me know if this is out like close to the water.
More houses have collapsed into the ocean off.
I don't know why they showed North Carolina with Jamaica. That's 2 different places. It's not the same kind of situation going on. But yeah, shout out to them. Hopefully you guys are good out there. Yeah, and the beachfront homes do cost a pretty penny. I would never get one. I would never ever get one. I might stay in one like an Airbnb situation potentially, perhaps, as long as I don't got no cameras in there. I might have to do a security suite. Hey, Secret Service, yo, I'm about to go to Buxton or Corolla. Hey, go ahead and sweep that right quick. I don't want no bugs, literally and figuratively. I don't want no bugs of any kind in there. Go ahead and sweep that. And if we could do that, then I'm good. I'll stay there for a little while, but I would never live there. You're too exposed to the elements. The house is going to fall into the ground, into the water at a certain point. Now, look, while we got the hurricane happening, while we got other things going on, we still got the government shutdown. Now, this kind of sums up, this right here, it kind of sums up what they're talking about as far as the government shutdown. Okay, what do you have to say to your constituents who are like worried about the food stamp benefits and whatnot?
And in the past, Democrats, when Republicans have tried to do something like this, Democrats have argued that the norms of our government should be that you negotiate policy outside of a government shutdown. I mean, I have over many years covering Washington, people have said that over and over and over again. And now I have neighbors in the D.C. area who are both employed by the federal government who are having to use food banks. We are heading into Thanksgiving. Why is it suddenly right to do it this way and to do it for this long when it didn't used to be the right way in Democrats' view?
Oh, that's an easy answer. It's Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. There we go. That's all they say. If I was a guy that voted for him, if I was a Democrat at all, voting for any Democrat, and I keep hearing them talk, Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that, it's like, okay, thank you for repeating his name for the 5,000th time. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. But that's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking for accountability, personal accountability from you, from my elected official. You guys have the power to open the government back up, but you're not doing it. You just want to blame the orange man for everything. That can't be how this goes. Just say what it is. You want the free health care for illegal aliens. You can't get it, and you're trying to play chicken, and you're using the food stamp thing to do it. You're using that as leverage. Well, Republicans, if you don't give us the free health care for illegal aliens, we're going to shut down the government and the citizens won't get any SNAP benefits, but they're sacrificing their own citizenry. If I was one of their constituents, I would not appreciate being put into that game. I would not appreciate being put into that whole back and forth. But hey, it's politics. What are you going to expect? What are you going to expect? But even the media are trying to tell them, yo, it's on y'all. Y'all got to open it. They're not giving any kind of room to Republicans. Now, some could say it's a dog and pony. Like, they're just trying to say that to put on the good show, whatever. But they're saying it. Normally, it's always the orange man's fault. But even now, the left have to agree. Well, the leftist journalists have to agree that the Democrats are not doing their job.
Democratic senators from New Mexico, your home state, vote to open the government so that these SNAP funds are not at risk?
Let me be clear. The administration is choosing to starve American children with money that they already have appropriated.
I'm not applauding their
taxes.
The
White House.
Well,
this is a choice by the White House.
This
they
is
are
also,
choosing
Congresswoman,
to
this
cut
is
off
also a
food
choice
assistance.
by Senate Democrats
No,
to not
it is
vote to
not.
open the government. Yes, it is. I understand why they're doing it. They're doing it because they want Medicaid funds restored. They're doing it because they want Obamacare premiums to be extended past the end of the year. I understand the reasoning.
Sir, let me just be clear. The money for contingency plans is sitting there. That is
The money for the contingency plan, the money to fund food stamps for like 2 weeks is not supposed to be used for that purpose. And it's only going to be 2 weeks. Like I said earlier, if you're able to fund it for 2 weeks, okay, then at the end of the 2 weeks, what's next? How are you going to be able to fund the program? You're going to be at the same impasse of not being able to go forward because you want free healthcare for illegal aliens. Just say that.
is why the states are suing. The White House is withholding funds from
2 to 3
children
weeks worth
to
of SNAP
have
funds.
food.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it may not be a big deal to you, but let me
It is
tell
a big
you
deal
that
to
for
me.
the grandparents, for grandparents
is a big deal to
that
me.
literally are feeding their children,
My point
to
is that
not
it's a
have
short-term
money
solution.
in those accounts.
It's
it
a
doesn't
short-term-
matter. At the end of the day, people need to be able to feed their families, and Saturday is when those funds
If you
run
feel
out,
so
and we are
strongly,
fighting to
Congresswoman,
get
why
that
not
funding.
ask the Senate Democrats from New Mexico to vote to open the government so that the SNAP funds...
Sir, I am here in the House of Representatives. It is shut down. I am fighting to get the government reopened. I am fighting to get funding put back into SNAP that is already existent, and I am fighting for the American people. I am here. But show me a single Republican that is here. Not a single one is here to make sure that Americans are fed on Saturday.
Okay, so that is Democrat House Rep Melanie Stansbury from New Mexico. The bottom line is they want free health care for illegal aliens. All right, Dodgers fan, can we not spam the chat? I mean, like, what is going on? Like, what is really happening? Like, come on. But anyway, shout out to Jake Tapper for holding their feet to the fire a little teeny bit. I appreciate that. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's watch some of this. This is some of the things that they said about the shutdown.
What's been said by some of the Democrat leadership here just in the last few days since the government actually shut down. That, of course, is the Democrat leader, Senator Schumer, who said every day gets better for us, commenting about the government shutdown. And my simple observation is better for who? For you? Because you think you're winning politically? What about the air traffic controllers? What about the TSA agents? What about the American troops? What about our Border Patrol agents? What about the people who work in this building? What about the 40 million Americans that are going to not get SNAP benefits starting on Saturday if the government doesn't open up? But every day gets better, according to Senator Schumer. And then, of course, this last week, there was the House Democrat whip who said, of course, there will be families that are going to suffer, but it is one of the few leverage times we have.
Like I said, they're using it as leverage because it's like a big thing. 40 million people, they're not getting food stamps. It's creating civil unrest. They're trying to use that as fire to put under the feet of Republicans to make them cave to getting free health care for illegal aliens. They're using their own constituency as leverage. And they're going to tell you openly. If you listen, they'll tell you directly.
Of course, there are families that are going to suffer. Yeah, true. But doesn't matter because we got leverage. Then, of course, we have a third one here, one of our colleagues here in the Senate, the senator from Delaware, who said this in an interview: frankly, this is our only moment of leverage. And although a very unpleasant tool to use. Yeah, it's unpleasant. It's unpleasant unless you're a Democrat who thinks that this gives you a moment of leverage.
So there we go. Hey, you know what? It's okay that a lot of Americans may not be able to get their benefits. It's okay that we can use that whole thing possibly happening as leverage. As long as we got the leverage, we're good. It's okay. Don't worry about it. So if a lot of and people say, oh, it's because Trump, blaming it on Trump. Nah, it's the Democrats not wanting to get it open. They could open it if they wanted to. Just agree to not give free healthcare to illegal aliens if they don't want to do that. Now, let me show you something about the free healthcare for illegal aliens. This is in Illinois where they tried to do that, a state-funded thing to give free healthcare to illegal aliens. Let me show you what happened. To all those out there who say, oh, you could do it, we have the money. At a certain point, you just don't have the money. You can't just print money out of thin air. Everyone is not entitled to everything in this world. It's just not reality. Yes, we are a rich country. Yes, we are the best country, but we don't have infinite resources to disperse to every human being on planet Earth. But let's watch some of this about illegal alien healthcare in Illinois.
About what this program is.
Sure. Well, last year, and we raised this concern, last year the Democratic majority and the governor put into place a law that said we were going to provide free health care for undocumented citizens from age 42 on up, that we were going to provide them free health care. At the time, they said they anticipated about 10,000 residents would take advantage of this program. We raised the concern. We said that was going to be a problem. By the beginning of this year, the state said, well, we're wrong. That number is about 52,000.
So first they said it was going to be 10,000. That's all we're going to have on the program, just 10,000 people. Then it became 52,000. Okay, so we're going up quite a bit. Is it going to stop there? Let's see.
Now this week, the state came out and said, we're wrong again. That number is now 120,000 undocumenteds are going to be receiving free health care at a cost of over $1 billion. That's money that's not in the budget. That's going to create a significant problem. And so here in Illinois, we are now adding thousands a month as you have unhealthy and sick undocumented citizens from around the country, from frankly around the world, that are coming to Illinois because the fact we're the only state that covers these individuals for total health care.
Let's pause on that. So what's happening, obviously, is that they're being sent there purposefully. Okay, Mr. Illegal Alien, you got HIV, AIDS, or something like that, go to Illinois. They'll take care of you for free. Okay, you got some kind of crazy, rare disease, rare disorder. You need a specialist, and it costs 100 bands, 300,000, $1 million. Go to Illinois, and you'll get free comprehensive health care. That's what's going on. Now, this is why I say we can't let every Tom, Dick, and Harry from all over the world into the USA. Let's vet them. Hey, if you got some kind of crazy, terrible sickness and you're not going to be contributing, why should you come here? Like, are we going to be your hospital bed for free? How does that make any sense? You came from some random place in a random part of the world to the USA just to get the free health care. And other illegal aliens who are already here, who did not come for the free health care, are being notified they can go to Illinois to get free health care. You're living in Miami, Florida right now, and you want to get a free sex change. I don't know if they're doing that or not in Illinois, but whatever you want to do, go over there, you get it for free. Okay, and of course, the 10,000 was too low. The 50,000 was too low. The 125,000 is too low. It's going to keep going higher and higher and higher. And the money to do that thing is just not available. That's why they shouldn't do it. And aside from all of the expense is the fact that they're here illegally. If you want to get health care, first of all, you should pay for it if you got the money. But second of all, try being here legally. Try that. That might work, maybe, just maybe. All right. We got Joe Biden. Hey, you know what? Listen, I'm not a fan of Joe Biden. Y'all know I'm not Mr. Biden lover over here. But come on, let this man rest. Now I got to step in and defend him. I don't, like I said in my stream last night. And if you were on the stream last night, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. But like I said, I don't like those who abuse the elderly or those who abuse children or those who abuse the disabled. I don't like that. And I feel like at this point, it's just elder abuse. But if he's like signing up for it, I can't feel all the way bad for him, but I still feel kind of bad. Why is this man out here speaking? For what? Is he raising money? Y'all need him that bad? Y'all so short on personnel in the Democratic Party, you got to use this guy who's like on his last leg. He's at about 3% battery, and it's not a charger in sight. Y'all going to lose every last drop till the phone turn off. But anyway.
Folks, we can't kid ourselves. We are in one of those moments right now. In my over 50 years in elected public life, this is the worst I've seen it. If Ted were here today, he'd still be fighting like hell, but his optimism would be surely tested. Because truth be told, our very democracy is at stake in my view. We all agree that our politics is broken, that political violence, never acceptable, is out of hand, that America should be a place not of extremism and fury, but of decency and grace, that our institutions are what makes us the envy of the world, and our democracy is worth fighting like hell for.
I'm glad that this man's not the president. Imagine this guy's the president right now. I mean, look, I know we all get old. We all have to age, but my goodness. I mean, Skeletor at best. This is crazy, man. Let that man rest, please. Let him rest. He's too old. He's just stop. Just stop. But anyway, now Jasmine Crockett. Okay. Do they normally have her on TV? I ain't gonna show her too much. Y'all pardon me, but I gotta show her because I did see this. Do they show her a lot on TV? I'm not really sure. I feel like she does more podcasts and social media stuff because she's good for clicks and the stuff like that on the internet, but I'm not quite sure if she's fit to be on cable or network news. Furthermore, does she look different or is it just me? I'm thinking Ozempic or maybe something with the hairstyle because the ears is different than what I thought they were going to be. Maybe it's the makeup. I don't really know. But like I said before, Jasmine at this point is not a legislator, in my humble opinion. She is Joseph Goebbels. She is a communications person. She goes out there and speaks to people about the Democratic Party, trying to convince them to stay on and to hate Orange Man. That's pretty much her role. All right, but let's hear from this individual on the Coming News Network.
Do you believe this will be the week that Congress comes to an agreement here?
I have no idea. I mean, you started off talking about the fact that the president is in Japan. The president has time to do everything but what he needs to focus on. In fact, we heard the press secretary say that his main priority is the ballroom that no one asked for, the ballroom that requires him to destroy historic pieces of the White House. And so it doesn't seem like he's interested.
And that context of the comment from Caroline Leavitt, she was asked if the president was working on any other renovations when it came to the White House, and she was saying his focus was the ballroom. But to your point about what the president said, do you believe this?
First of all, that was a great fact check from, what was that, Caitlin Collins? I'm not sure what that is, on CNN. That was a great fact check because Jasmine had to go out there and tell that, the propagandist lie talking about, oh, well, Trump said his focus is the ballroom. Well, the context was, do you have any other projects you're working on? And he's like, well, the focus, speaking about projects I'm working on, is the ballroom. So that was a good fact check. But at this point, I'm not sure how effective she is. They want to put her out there more to get her exposed to a broader audience, to potentially raise her profile beyond just social media clicks. But I don't think she's really built for that. I think she is most seen where she's most effective. But on television, I'm not quite sure that it's going to work. I don't care how many updos and Ozempic shots you take in your hind parts, it ain't gonna make a difference. But hey, like I said, I hope they try to run her and then AOC and all of them in 2028. That'd be fantastic. Please do. Please do. Oh, and I got to show Don Lemon. This is hilarious. This is the funniest thing I've seen in my life because the left talk about how beautiful trans women are, all this. They say trans women are beautiful. They say trans women are women. Yet, when it comes to insulting someone, they'll call them a transgender. Make that make sense. Make it make sense. So I don't know what podcast this is. You know, this dude with this hairstyle. I don't know what podcast this is. Don't really care. But let's hear from Don Lemon talking about Megyn Kelly appears to be a transgender.
Is Megyn Kelly chopped?
I don't know what that means. I don't know what is chopped. I've heard it, but I don't know what that means. What does chopped mean?
She's gonna get mad at me, dude. I don't know if I want this here.
What does chopped mean?
Chopped means like not hot.
Yeah, she's chopped. I don't know, the whole MAGA look.
It's all the MAGA ladies.
Too
They
much.
look kind of looks like a Barbie doll covered in like WD-40.
I think she looks trans.
Let's end on that note.
She looks clockable.
Okay, first of all, this was cringe. It's like your uncle trying to be cool with his nephews. Like, hey, it's clockable. And bro, come on, Don. You don't talk like that. But anyway, why I gotta bring up looks though? Because if you want to bring up looks, there's a lot right here. There's a whole lot right here. This hairstyle, you're looking like Hanson, Mbop. Okay, Mbop, straight up. You might be about 30 years old looking like Mbop, like you a 15-year-old heartthrob. And my man right here, bro, come on. Really? Why you gotta talk about the looks? And look at that smile right there. But Don, why would you say that Megyn Kelly why would you say she looks trans when y'all say that trans women are women and trans women are beautiful? I don't really understand. Y'all put them in Victoria's Secret's pageants, okay, the thing tucked between their legs with the stuff on that, the prosthetics right here, okay? Y'all do that and then tell us if we say that that's a man and they shouldn't be on the pageant that we are homophobic. But you get on this podcast and call Megyn Kelly trans and it's okay. All right. But see, this is why you don't listen to anything they say when it comes to morality because it's just convenient for the moment. Whatever they say moral-wise is convenient for the moment. It's not really how they feel. They have no true North Star. They will go wherever the wind blows, just like Don Lemon. Okay, that's why he's a gay dude married to a white man. That's why, because it's like, hey, it's whatever. It's no problem. I do whatever I want. Now, look, here is Jake Tapper on CNN with the governor, Arnold, talking about gerrymandering. Now, Jake was trying to say it's a Republican thing to gerrymander. And if I don't know what that means, gerrymandering is when a state intentionally redraws a congressional district to favor one party over the other. The reality is gerrymandering is not a one-party issue. It's been going on all over the country for forever, since the 1800s, or as soon as like you realize you were able to do that, it's been done. And there's been efforts to stop it, but it's still happening. And if you had to ask which party does gerrymander more than the other, it wouldn't be the Republicans. But let's watch.
Do you believe that the Republican Party is starting this?
No, Jake. There has been gerrymandering going on for 200 years. There is such extreme gerrymandering going on that in a state like Massachusetts, that has like 40% of the people voting for Trump, they have 0 representatives. The Republican Party has 0 representatives sent to the House. Think about that. In New Mexico, if 45% of the people voted for Trump and voted Republican, and 0 is sent to the House, 0 representatives from the Republican Party. So there's gerrymandering, crazy gerrymandering going on all over the country. And we wanted to try to stop it in California, and we did stop it in California, and we went around the country. So I think this whole thing about finger pointing and say they did it, so therefore we should doing it, that's not really the way to go. The one party should outperform the other party. It should be performance. And when it comes to midterm elections, as you know, always the party that is not in the White House usually wins by 20, 25, 30 seats. So what does 5 seats matter in the first place in Texas? It is crazy. They should outperform them. That is where the action is.
Let's talk about another issue you care passionately.
There we go. Outperform them. That's the name of the game. Do better. Don't try to resort to sneaky tricks, little underhand tricks, little shenanigans. Nah, just do better. And if you can't do better and you're not able to stay in power, that's your fault. That's not anyone else's fault. You can't blame the other party. You can't blame Donald Trump. They always like to say Trump's full name. Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that. Well, how about you? Where's your personal accountability? Where's that at? That's what I want to know. But yeah, shout out to the governor for making all the sense in the world. Okay, but I vote for him? No. But I'll tell you what. If I lived in California and I had a choice between the governor, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Gavin Newsom, I'm picking the governor all day long. All day long, I'm picking the governor, and it's not even close. Now, before I get to Gavin, we get AOC. Did y'all see AOC speaking at Zohran Mamdani's rally? First of all, the optics. I know a lot of y'all pointed it out. Some of y'all said she got the truckers behind him. Her, that was hilarious. That was really funny. But let's look at this speech. This is, in my humble opinion, a preview of 2028 of AOC going on the campaign trail trying to give impassioned speeches, but not doing very well at her job.
Jews escaping Holocaust, Black Americans fleeing slavery and Jim Crow, Latinos seeking a better life, Native people standing for themselves, Asian Americans coming together in Queens, in Brooklyn, in the Bronx, in Manhattan, in Staten Island, in this country, in Jews.
I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. You're trying to give this impassioned speech and trying to be all powerful. I'm not feeling it. It feels like you were just instructed to do that. You went to a class, you spoke to a coach. It doesn't feel like it's organic. If I was a Democrat, I would be like, nah, I didn't really feel that. You stuttering through the words as you say them loudly. Normally, when you are speaking straight from the heart, you're not going to be doing all that. If you actually are vocalizing yourself like that, you're not going to be doing all that. So AOC trying to become a president, AOC trying to go out there and give these kind of speeches, I'm not feeling it. I don't feel what you're saying. It feels like it's just an act. You are rehearsing, you are repeating choreographed lines. It doesn't feel organic at all. So yeah, how about you guys in 2028? You want AOC? I want AOC to run for president. Hey, Democrats, I know y'all hear me. I know y'all watching. Shout out to the federal agents. Shout out to the Democratic Party. I know y'all watching. I want AOC to run. Please, let her run as a president, vice president. I don't care what she is. The general manager, it don't matter. Let her run, because people like that, when they go out there and they talk, people are going to hear them and they're going to get turned off. People that have sense. But don't everybody got sense now. Not everyone has sense. And I'm going to show you some of that, because we got some Zohran stuff. Oh, man. A lot of people like Zohran. A lot of human beings like Zohran. Okay. Now, I got to defend, before I get in on Zohran, before I talk about him and how I don't like him, how he's a moron, I want to say one thing to defend him. Did y'all see where he said that his aunt was being harassed because of her hijab, like 9/11 time? Did y'all see that? Now, maybe he's lying about that story. Maybe he's not. I have no way of being able to verify that. But where people got him on was that the person was not his aunt technically, but it was his father's cousin. Now, I'm going to ask y'all a question, just in general, aside from it being Zohran, just a general question. What do you call your mom's best friend's kids? Street interview. What do you call your mom's best friend's kids? Y'all let me know. And also, as a matter of fact, before I even talk any more about that, I'm going to play this clip, then I'll say some more.
At the press conference yesterday, they said, can you tell us who your aunt is, who you were referring to? I said, yes, this is my aunt. This is my Zerafui. This is my father's cousin, and this was her story.
So how can you convince New Yorkers if that is the type of person that you are, in other words, that you don't tell the truth?
Well, it's not a lie. My father's cousin is my aunt. That's how I referred to her growing up my whole life, Zerafui. And I think to have the takeaway from the New York Post and so many others after I gave a speech outside of a mosque for 10 minutes about the Islamophobia we've seen in this race and in our politics to be the question of whether or not Zerafui was my aunt. I was at the press conference yesterday. They said, can you tell...
All right, so there we go. He was saying that this person was his aunt, but it was his father's cousin. Now, before I get into that, I'm going to read some of the responses to the question I asked. And the question, again, if you didn't hear, was, what do you call your mom's best friend's kids? That was my question. And I'm going to read some of the responses. So a lot of y'all said strangers. That's funny. That's interesting. That's very interesting. I think it's a cultural thing. And sometimes you have different cultures and y'all might not be on the same page with everything. Okay. Some say friends, uninvited guests, but really a lot of y'all said cousins. That's the correct answer. If your mom got a best friend, if y'all close, if y'all know each other. So if your mom got friends or you got family friends and they got kids, it's like right around your age, that's your cousins. No, they're not actually your cousins, but you're going to call them that. It's the same thing. Okay. If your parents have first cousins and they're close, they're kind of like siblings. Okay. Like my dad has a cousin that look identical to him. They're the same age and everything. I don't see them as, and it's really a whole bunch of them. It's a bunch of them. Like I remember we had a family reunion one time in Virginia and a bunch of them was in the hotel going to their rooms after we had an event. And I'm looking and from behind, I can't tell who is who. I'm like, dad, a bunch of the same clone of the same looking person. These are my dad's cousins, but they're like my uncles because they're so much like siblings, like brothers. You understand what I'm saying? And if they're in your life a lot, it's like your uncle. But that's not your uncle, that's your cousin or your second cousin or whatever the case may be, family friend. That's kind of how it works. So I have to defend them on that. Although I don't know if that story about 9/11 and the hijab was true or false. I have no idea. Maybe that story was true. Maybe it's false. But to get him on the cousin thing, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. All right. But yeah, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Sometimes Friendly says, I never heard of calling people you're not related to cousins. It's a cultural thing. I guess everybody don't do that. A lot of black folks, a lot of other people, white people do it sometimes. It just depends, I guess, on your particular neck of the woods, where you grew up, how your family was. It just depends. Everybody don't do that, and that's okay. Amp Jaw says an actual family is one thing, but someone's friends and all that. I mean, I get it. I understand. I totally do. It's not just a black thing because last time I checked, Mom Donnie not black. It's just different people have different cultures. Now look, again, I'm not going to vote for that guy. Don't get it twisted. I had to defend him on that. But look, I'm not sure where this is. Where is this? This is UK. Pink Pantherist. Y'all know who that is? I'm 41 years old. I don't know who that is. And I feel like if I was to know who this is at my age, put me on the list because something ain't right. Why does this old man know who this teeny bopper is? Like, anyway, this person is over in UK and doing a little song or whatever. And then she revealed a thing at the end and the crowd went wild. Check it out. Okay, so you saw what happened. She revealed Zoran on the big screen, and he has his hands open and says, our time has come, vote November the 4th. And the crowd went wild. They went wild. A bunch of young people that don't know anything. They have no idea what communism is. They have no idea what it's like to live under anything other than good times. But I know what the saying says, good times create weak men create hard times. And I think we're right there at the weak men create hard times moment. They have no idea what they're talking about, no idea why they're cheering, aside from hopes of he'll give me everything I want for free. Free this, free that. Communism. They're excited about communism until communism hits. Then they'll beg to go the other direction. This is why I say, you know what? Let New York have them. I'm not trying to fight no more. I'm not squabbling about who is his aunt, who is his cousin, because it don't even matter. It don't matter because the time to try and get him out of the way is over with. It's pretty much decided he'll be the next guy. Let them have him, and when they suffer tremendously, they'll regret it. Sometimes people don't learn any other way. It's like little kids. Hey, don't touch that stove, it's hot. They touch it and they get burnt. Oh, well, it's your fault. You over there crying, you be all right. It's your fault. If you get burned for touching the stove after I said don't touch it, I'm going to say it's your fault. I'm going to scold you. Ain't no consoling, nah. Hey, do it to burn. Hey, put it under some cold water. You be all right. Get a Band-Aid for yourself. I'm not going to, hey, ain't no consoling, no soft stuff, no nothing. That's how I am. Hey, I'm militant like that. I don't, nah. Hey, man, you be all right. So, look, we got street interviews of people. And where is this? Is this in New York? And they're being asked about Zoran. Let's see what they say out there in the city, shall we?
What do you think of Zoran Mamdani?
I'm a really big fan. I'll be voting for him this November. I'm a really big fan of his policies on freezing the rent and having free buses. Yeah, I'm really excited about him as candidate.
Are you also a democratic socialist?
That wouldn't necessarily be how I'd categorize myself, but I do support democratic socialism. I align myself a little further to the left than that.
Oh, further to the left?
Yeah.
Are you a communist?
Yeah, I am. I would say I'm a communist.
See, what did I say? And you know what? I didn't even watch this. I did not even watch this before I played it. But didn't I say that they want communism? People want to play with words. Oh, he's not communist, ABL. He's democratic socialist, whatever. Potato, potato. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. He is a communist, and they want communism until they get communism, and then they'll beg for capitalism to return. Hey, the first day they really can't get food from the store, and they got to wait in the line to get basic needs met, then they'll realize they made a mistake.
And what does that involve?
To me, I feel like communism involves, my view of communism involves also dissolution of the state in general, being about how we could bring back services to the people taking control of their own wages, stuff like that.
I like him.
Why?
I like his ideas. I like his personality. I think he says what he believes, and we need that. He's got a lot of energy. I think he's honest, and I support him a lot.
He said one controversial statement recently about wanting to tax richer white neighborhoods. Have you heard of this?
I haven't heard that, but I have no problem with that. I think we need to raise taxes on people who are better off and provide more social services. People should have enough to eat, and they should be able to find places where they can afford to live.
It's stupid, though, because, and the thing about it is, you're too old to have this kind of mentality. You should already know that these things don't work. When you want to tax the rich, tax them, they don't want to be taxed. So what's going to happen? They're going to fight back, and they can fight back in a variety of ways. One way is by leaving New York City. They say, you know what, adios, I'm not paying these taxes. You got me all the way messed up. I'm not paying not one more red cent in taxes. Hasta luego, arrivederci, all of that, I'm out. They could do that, or they could just raise the price of whatever they have, their goods and services. A lot of these rich guys have businesses and they have employees in the city. They bring money into the city. They could just charge us, you and I, more for whatever they have. So even if they are taxed more, it didn't make a difference to them because they just charged us more. So they keep making the same kind of money. And as they make more money, we make less money because of the inflation.
But the word white seems odd to some people, just specifying the race.
Okay, so it's odd to some people.
Or racist even. Not to you?
Not to me.
Do you support Zohran Mamdani?
I'm not. The reason is that he somehow doing the worst thing to Israel, and he's not capable to run this city. It's too big on him. Democrat people are not seeing Israel as a friend, as they see them as a threat to democracy.
What do you think of Zohran Mamdani?
Currently, I think he's a good politician and also a good person. And I think overall, he's in the right directions of what we should strive for to see in politicians.
What do you like about him?
I like his demeanor. I also like the fact that he's honest. He's a very forthright. And there's not much of the, how do I put it? Of the fluff.
Some Jewish New York.
We're not dealing with big brains though. I'm gonna just say that. Can I say that? I'm not trying to be offensive. I'm not trying to call her a moron. I'm just saying we're not dealing with big brains out here making these decisions to vote for Zohran Mamdani. And that's part of the problem. But like I said, they're going to figure that out soon enough. They'll get education. I'm not saying they can't learn anything. I'm not saying they can't actually get better or get more informed. But as of right now, they're not very informed. And a lot of that comes from the failing K through 12, system, whether it be public or private. At a certain point, they go into college and they get the crazy student loan debt and they don't learn anything. Okay, you get this crazy degree in underwater basket weaving. You come home, work at Starbucks, and then talk about I want to make a living wage for doing what? Pouring coffee, make it make sense. Okay, like how that makes sense? You know what? I want to get paid like a king to go out there and wash dishes. It don't make sense. It does not make sense. Now, here's something about rent control in the city. Let's watch some of this, shall we? Let's watch some of this. Let me get some sound.
New York, for example. Yeah. Without going into too much detail, there's all these policies that are in place to help create more affordable housing. But unfortunately, it's a fundamental misunderstanding of supply and demand. There's a state program, for example, that says, okay, if you build a building that's over a certain number of units, then you have to change like these wage structures and you need to have this percentage affordable and all that. And that cap is about 100 units, so 100 apartments.
Okay.
So if you look at all of the 100% of the applications under the new program to build these buildings in New York, 100% of them are 99 units or below. Looking at our friend Javier Milei, the president of Argentina,
yes,
he has removed all rent regulation from Argentina and Buenos Aires. In a year and a half, supply has increased and rents are down 30%.
That's incredible.
In a year and a half, 2 years. There is 40 to 50,000 by our estimates vacant apartments in Manhattan that because of rent regulation are not being put onto the market.
That's insane.
So you could have, by just changing policy, you could increase a huge number of units and you could also bring all these units back online and you could cut the price of housing in New York.
And we don't have to resort to socialism.
They're only able to freeze rents on the regulated units, which means the free market rents can float. And also, if you make it impossible under that regime to build more apartments, guess what happens to the price of free market rents?
They keep going up.
They're going to skyrocket.
Simple. But, free market, capitalism, that's not what they want in a place like New York because they want communism. This is what I've been proving. And these types of talks about the government regulations not working and regulations make all kind of unintended consequences happen. These are the same things they said in USSR. And that's why USSR failed, because communism never works. It never, ever works. And here's an example. A guy from Cuba is talking to Mamdani about communism never, ever working. Let me get it on the screen right quick. And here we go.
Zohran Mamdani, I have a message for you. You want a government grocery? Government grocery, they can do it this. In 35 years in my life, I can do it this in my country. When the grocery is for the government.
Zohran, even cheese you cannot find at the government-run grocery stores in Cuba.
Oh, wow. Zohran Mamdani, I coming from the island, we can have a fish. You can buy a fish.
And before the socialists come out, yes, the embargo exempts food. And when the Castros are driving around in their Mercedes-Benz, ask them about the blockade.
Zohran Mamdani, At least one more. You see this? This is the dream for people like me, coming for the government grocery. Zora, I hope you have a good intention, but you don't know what happened when the government control everything. Zora.
Exactly. So Cuba, prime example. Hey, try to get groceries, try to get things, try to get a car that's not from the year 1955 in Cuba. It's not really your thing because communism. So we see where it's been tried. We see USSR, Cuba, etc., so on and so forth. The list goes on. If you want to try that in New York, you're going to destroy it. And the reason why it's such an important thing to me, although I don't live there, is because New York is the flagship city. That's like America right there. But a lot of things are being shifted to other parts of the country. A lot of things moving down to the Sun Belt. Dallas, Texas is booming right now. Houston booming right now. Austin, okay, Atlanta is booming, and the West Coast, San Fran, Los Angeles, Chicago, Illinois, New York, they're losing people. They're losing people, losing house reps, brain drain happening because of all these policies. So this right here might be the nail in the coffin. Get Zoran in there, it'll drive out the remaining. And these people are still going to be talented, so what are they going to do? The best people, the most talented, will go to a place where they're able to flourish and make that place better. While those who want to leech off the government will just drain all the resources without being able to replenish them. And then once they're completely drained, New York will look like Portland, Oregon, and a lot of the bad areas, like Los Angeles and downtown. It'll look like that throughout the entire New York City. All these vacant buildings will become abandoned. And then it'd be like 1970s all over again. And then you got to swing the pendulum back and bring in a Giuliani or somebody to clean it up. And then once they get it back on track and things are going good, they'll get comfy and they'll bring in somebody else that's soft to bring it back down to the same thing. It'll be a cycle. Again, good times create weak men and weak men create hard times. But let's look at what they're doing in New York with the food stamp benefits. And I got a question. Do y'all think that it makes sense? Is it a good thing to have work requirements for food stamp benefits? 20 hours a week, or I'll say this, I ain't going to say by week. 80 hours a month working, or not and, but or 80 hours a month volunteering. Did I say, let me start over. 80 hours a month working, or not and 80 hours a month volunteering, or not and 80 hours a month in school, some kind of education. That equates to 20 hours a week. If you can't work 20 hours a week, I don't understand what you're doing. If you're able-bodied, you're not 1,000 years old, what's the problem? Why can't you do that? I mean, I think it's just pitiful.
Every family, every meal, food is justice, food is real.
Demonstrators rally on the Lower East Side in protest of forthcoming federal changes for those receiving government assistance to buy food. As part of the president's Big Beautiful Bill, Americans in the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, will now have to prove they are working, volunteering, or enrolled in an education program for at least 80 hours a month, or risk losing their food stamps or SNAP benefits altogether. 34-year-old Anthony Pearson, among those who are concerned.
How can I work 80 hours if I have children? I have to pick up my children from school, and I have to take my kids to school. How am I going to work that many hours? It doesn't make sense.
Let's go back. I don't understand your complaint here, sir. Both of my parents worked all the time, and I had to go to school. I had to go to and from. I had to do whatever. My mom worked at 1.2 jobs. I might see her for a little while, especially like when I was like older, like middle school age. By the time I got to be like 10, 11 years old, my mom was gone most of the day, and most of the week. My dad had 4 jobs: firefighter, security guard, this, that, and the third. He might have had a taco stand on the low. He had did a little bit of everything. And again, for the record, my parents were never on any form of government assistance ever. They just worked really hard to provide for me and to provide for themselves. That's what they did. And anyone can do it. And the thing about it is, you're living in New York City, bro. You're living in a place with all kinds of resources. We came from West Virginia, a country place, and a single wide trailer, bro. You have everything right there. All the resources available to you in the world, and you can't work. You don't want to work. My question is, what are you doing when you're not picking your kids up for 5 minutes or whatever in the morning or in the evening and dropping them off in the morning? What are you doing in between that time? If you're not working at least 20 hours, I don't understand. It's an excuse, but people can say stuff like that when they are incentivized to do so, when they are incentivized to stay home and just chill. Okay. Now look, we got Jacob Fry standing up. Okay. Mr. White Man, Jacob Fry, the mayor of Minneapolis, Minnesota. And this is during a debate with, the other guy, Omar Fateh, the Somali guy. If he dies, he dies. I mean, I'm the captain now. You know what I'm talking about. But let's watch some of this.
And a commitment was made to direct Minneapolis police to arrest federal agents. That would be dangerous. That would be irresponsible. And my simple question is, how would our police officers do that? How would our police officers arrest federal agents when, simply put, they have much bigger guns and it would be illegal?
And that's part of it.
But we should actually dig in on the answer to this question, because this gets to the crux of the issues that we actually deal with. You committed to arresting federal agents. My simple question is how?
Yeah, well, if there's any federal agent that has a mask on, that should not be allowed in our city.
I agree with that, but how? How do you arrest them?
Well, we can work with our state partners, we can work with our attorney general, we can work with it cross-jurisdictionally, we can work as a city.
But specifically, how would you arrest them?
The reality is,
this would put our neighbors in danger.
Yeah, so I'm glad that Jacob Fry called him out on that. Okay, normally I see Jacob Fry, he's out there just being a complete just softy, out there dancing and checking the sound parts, acting the fool. But right there, he's right on point. How are you going to arrest ICE agents? What you going to do? How are the local people out there, the local police in Minneapolis, going to arrest ICE agents? You're going to have the whole federal government on top of your head. It ain't going to be nothing pretty. Don't do that. That's how you start a civil war right there. See, you can't make these irresponsible claims on television or anywhere else if you're trying to become the mayor or any kind of way being involved in government. And when you say something like that, they're ready for you. If you were to be able to get in power and try to enact something like that, the feds will be all down your back immediately. So yeah, hey man, you are not the captain now, bro. You're not. And I hope and pray for Minneapolis' sake that he's not. Jacob Fry, I'm no fan of, but if I got to pick, if I got pistol to the dome, Jacob Fry or Omar Fateh for mayor, hey man, give me Captain White, man. That's what I want. I don't want that guy right now. That ain't really what I want. Okay, now Gavin, did you guys see this? Did I already play this about Gavin when he was on the podcast with the basketball players? Did y'all see this? I'm like, Gavin, really, bro? Hey, and you know what? He's also somebody that I want to run. I think he has a better chance of being the nominee than AOC does because he's male. And he's a little bit better than AOC, but he's almost just as bad as AOC and Jasmine Crockett, to be totally honest with you. He's a trust fund baby at best. But on this podcast with the black basketball players, he was a poor black child. Let's watch some of this.
But also,
let me get it on the screen for you guys, and let's rock and roll.
But also, it was also about paying the bills, man. And it was just like hustling. And so I was out there kind of raising myself, turning on the TV, started, just getting obsessed, sitting there with the Wonder Bread and 5 stacks of,
it's like the White Stack 5 story.
Come on. Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Bro. Are you talking about me?
Young YG.
YG, man.
Every day in the backyard, just bouncing the basketball, throwing the ball against the wall until the ball is just like fraying, man. And your arms fall off. That's it. Whole thing. So just, and then, then this student that was shitty student is in the back with his head down, all of a sudden started throwing the baseball a little faster than everyone else and started, make a few free throws because I was sitting there practicing 500 of them every damn night. And in high school, I look up in the stands, my dad's back up there.
Okay, dope.
And it's like, man, and then he's bringing his friends and you're captain of the team and you're like, gee, and it just saved me and it got me into college.
Okay, what were you saved from? A life of crime and the mean streets of, where were you at? San Francisco? Look, you were saved from what? I don't understand. You sound like you have in some type of black struggle story, but bro, your dad was William Newsom, a lawyer who became a judge and the administrator of the Getty Family Trust. Your aunt is Nancy Pelosi. Bro, what are we talking about here? I don't really understand. Okay, y'all had wineries, all types of stuff. You did not have a life that had to be saved. Rescued from what? Did you have affluenza? You were too well off? You had to get saved from that? Please run him. Please run him because that's going to be fantastic. Let him and AOC be on the same ticket. Dumb and Dumber, freaking frat. Thing one, thing two. Okay, that'd be the most unironically hilarious duo of misfits I've ever seen in my life run for president. And that'll show you just how far the Democratic Party is falling to where that's your best bet. That's your best bet. That's all you got, Gavin, Max Headroom, and AOC. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Now, look, this is downtown San Fran. Now, I don't think this is where Gavin Newsom was at. I think Gavin was in a much better part of the city, and I don't think it looked like this when he was a youngin'. But now that he's a governor, it looks like this.
Haters be like, go to downtown and make a video and see how great it is. Have you been to downtown San Francisco? The architecture here is stunning. It's beautiful. The streets are so clean. What?
It looks terrible. It looks awful. Now, I don't even know. Like, people say that's okay. It's just one neighborhood. I've never seen anything like that over here in the South. And I've seen some homeless people. I've seen some little rough stuff, whatever. But this is pitiful. But you know what it is? They're being incentivized. Again, it's the incentives. You allowing the drugs to happen. You're giving them the free paraphernalia. You're giving them free hots in the cot and this and that. It's a whole homeless industrial complex. This scene right here represents money from somebody. They don't have anything except for maybe a little bit of food and some drugs, but there's monies around this that they don't get. And as long as that money is there, then they'll be there. So yeah, California, you got to tighten up. And you know what's funny? They say that it's okay, it's just certain neighborhoods, but when the Chinese delegation came, when Xi Jinping came, when the big boss came, they cleaned all that up, didn't they? Oh, they cleaned them streets clean, smooth up. It looked like Dubai or somewhere. I'm like, wow, look how easy that was. Now, speaking of the Bay Area, let's go to Oakland. Oakland's worse. Okay. Let's look at this. I don't think there's any sound to this video. Is there? Well, I don't want to play that. We don't want to get no copyright from Death Row or whoever owned that. But anyway, let's watch some of this. And this caption says, I was on BART, so I had to slow this down. I never seen anything this crazy, and I lived here 50 plus years. And you can see tents on top of buildings, graffiti everywhere. It all appears to be abandoned. You're looking like third world country, basically. I've never seen anything like that over here on the East. You look at like literally favelas in Brazil. Okay, now I understand Brazil looking like that because they're not as rich as we are, but we are supposed to be the leaders in the world. We should be the ones who don't look like this. We're not a developing nation, but if you go to Oakland, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Okay. Oh, it's black people. Go to Atlanta. It don't look like that. And Atlanta is a for real black place. Let me tell you something about Oakland and California in general. It's a place that's new, kind of. It's not, they were not created with America was forming without the West Coast in mind. So a lot of the West Coast is still cowboy, shoot 'em up, bang, bang, but with a suit on. That's kind of what it is. And that creates environments like this. Terrible. And a lot of them moved out there without a lot of family to support them. They're just trying to get jobs. And that's what you have as a result. Okay, people trying to pay less for the work, and cost of living keep going up. And anybody who has any ability to will get out of that area completely. They'll get out of it. Now, this is out there in San Bernardino. Did you guys see the guy who was on a motorcycle and got got tossed off the bike after he got hit by a vehicle? Now, the guy, what happened was there was a domestic violence call. The police get there and the man immediately fires on police. He hits one person and kills him. That was Andrew Nunez. May he rest in peace, prayers out to the family. Deputy Andrew Nunez. May he rest in peace, prayers out to the family. So the guy who did that got a motorcycle and then went on a high-speed chase on the interstate. And the chase had a very satisfying end, if I do say so myself. Okay. Well, it was satisfying except for one detail. I'll tell you later.
Folks, it's with a heavy heart that I announced that our deputy who was shot during a domestic violence incident earlier today, his name is Andrew Nunez. He's a 6-year deputy with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department and had served the community of Rancho Cucamonga for 5 years. At 13:13 hours, he was pronounced deceased after receiving a single gunshot wound to the head. The suspect left the area on a motorcycle and subsequently was pursued by our deputy sheriffs with aerial support overhead. The pursuit came to a conclusion with an off-duty deputy sheriff who put himself on duty and conducted a legal intervention by hitting the suspect on the motorcycle, causing the motorcycle to go down. The suspect is in stable condition at an area hospital. I don't even know what to say. We're embedded in sorrow. Unfortunately for our department, this has happened way too often. When we talk about this young man, his wife, 2-year-old daughter, and the couple was expecting. His mother and his 4 brothers and sisters are who have to live with this, along with the members of his department who are out there serving with him today. We're going to do our very best to do the most important thing at this point, and that's to make sure that we bring the suspect to justice and take good care of that family.
So there we go. That's out there in California. The person who shot Andrew Nunez and killed him, again, may rest in peace, prayers out to the family. The guy who shot him was on the bike. He got hit by an off-duty cop in a legal maneuver. Okay, a legal maneuver. Legal, not illegal. Legal, justified, correct, the good maneuver. He hit him and he flies off the bike. Unfortunately, the guy lived. Unfortunately. So prayers out to the family of the officer who was killed. And prayers out to the car. Any damage is done to the car when he hit the guy who killed the officer. A better ending, in my opinion, would have been for the guy who did that to the officer to just go ahead and be done right there on the road. And if you notice, when the guy was on the bike, he was trying to reach for a gun. So you shot and killed one officer. You're on a high-speed chase, going for your gun again. Who are you going to shoot? You're going to shoot random people? You're going to shoot the cops pursuing you? What's going on? Hey, so I'm glad that it ended, but he lived, so that's kind of the bad part right there. That's kind of the bad part. All right, but if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. Now, before I get into the SNAP and the food stamps, I got some videos about that. Barack Obama now wants us to vote for Abigail Spanberger in Virginia to be the governor, right? Now, just last year, 2024, what did Barack Obama do? He was shaming black men for not being enthusiastic about voting for Kamala Harris, talking about, oh, she's one of us and she has shared experiences. Okay. You used the black card when it came to Kamala Harris, although she's not black, but I digress. You used the black card when it came to Kamala Harris, but now you say, hey, vote for the white lady, Abigail, over Winsome Earl Sears, who actually had the black experience, Barack Obama. Listen, Barack Obama, what do you or Kamala know about the black experience, quote unquote? Kamala was raised by her Indian red dot mom, not by her Jamaican dad, who was not black for real. What does she know about the so-called black experience? She was raised most of her formative years in French Canada with a mom from India, not black. Okay, as simple as that. And then you, Barack Obama, you were born to a white American mom and a Kenyan dad. You're not a black American off the rip. And you grew up for the first part of your life in Indonesia with your white mom and your Asian stepfather, Lolo Sortoro. Okay, y'all grew up over there in Indonesia, where he's from, where your stepdad's from. You went from there to Hawaii with your white grandparents. You didn't come to Lower 48 to live until you got to be an adult. You were sent to Chicago to learn how to be black and to become a politician. That's what happened. So what do you know? What does she know about the so-called black experience? Winsome Earl Sears came to the United States at 6 years old and lived in New York City, Brooklyn, etc. She had the so-called black experience. You didn't, and she didn't. But yet I was being talked down to. I was being scolded last year for not wanting to vote for Kamala because she had a black experience. But now someone has so-called black experience. You say, nah, don't vote for her, vote for the white lady. Let's go back in time and watch the 24 clip. And then we're going to see what he's talking about right now with Miss Abigail. Driving Miss Abigail. Okay, let's watch some of this. And I think he is or was in Philadelphia or Pennsylvania somewhere in this clip. Y'all let me know in the comments.
Communities is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running.
That look right there, the little man, you talking about my blood boiling. I'm talking about, I'm 400 degrees, juvenile. Blood boiling. Excuse you, sir? You going to just like be condescending and look down? How dare you? Anyway, I'm triggered.
Now, I also want to say that that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers.
With the brothers. Oh, man. This right here, it has a free space in my mind. This lives rent free in my head right now, 100%.
So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly and say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences. Who's had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land.
So there we go. Again, that was him in 2024, just last year. 1 year ago, it was also in October, right before the election. He was scolding black men because there was not a lot of excitement about voting for Kamala Harris the way there was for him from the brothers, meaning from black men. So he was talking to me specifically. Okay, but now let's fast forward to right now during the race in Virginia. Pardon me. The race in Virginia, he is not endorsing the black woman who had the black experience in America because she's Republican. He's saying vote for the white lady instead, Miss Abigail. All right, let's throw it on the screen right quick. This is him endorsing her.
Virginia's elections are some of the most important in the country this year, and I am proud to endorse Abigail Spanberger for governor. Republican policies are raising costs on working families so billionaires can get massive tax cuts. As governor, Abigail will stand up for Virginia families. She'll work to build an economy that works for everyone, not just big corporations and the wealthy. But it won't happen without you. Every vote counts, so turn out and vote for Abigail Spanberger for governor on November 4th.
So there we go. Obama, just last year, 1 year ago, you said vote for Kamala because she black and she had your experience and she went to school with you, all this, that, and the third. Now, hey, vote Miss Abigail over the black woman who actually is black. But whatever, man. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. But I found that to be hilarious. I really did. Okay, I found that to be absolutely hilarious. Now, the EBT benefits. We'll get to some of these right quick. Y'all know what's happening. November the 1st is talking about on the federal level, if the government cannot be reopened and they can't come to an agreement on the monies, there will be no more SNAP benefits dispersed until they can figure it out. So November the 1st, you want your EBT card refreshed. It might not be refreshed. You checking your app or whatever you got, and that thing is still saying you got about 85 cents in there. Okay. You like, yo, I need my 1,500 or whatever kind of money you get in to go out there and buy a cart full of colorful food. Because let's be serious. Are you going to go out there and buy ho-hos, ding-dongs, frozen pizza, all kind of nonsense? Matter of fact, I had a video that I wanted to show. I forgot where it's at. But the cart was ridiculous. Y'all know I'm the cart police. If I see your cart and you got a bunch of colorful boxes in there and it's chopped to the brim and you fat already, I'm judging you, 100% judging you. I'm like, yo, you could put all that back. You don't even need it. And a lot of these people, they got the bit backs. It's like camels. They don't got to drink water all the time because they already got the storage right there on their hump. Same thing with some of these bit backs. You already 1,000 pounds. I mean, you could actually miss a few meals and you be all right. I promise. You're not going to die if you just don't eat one of your 8 feedings of the day. Rather than having 8 feedings, go down to 5 feedings and you would still live. You'd be all right. But anyway, this woman has an interesting take on the whole situation. And she's saying that people who are not going to be on EBT now, or people who, matter of fact, she didn't say that. She said those who have to work requirements. If you must work for EBT, you'll get the slave experience. That's what she said. Let's watch.
People gonna get real mad when they realize that they waking up to what slaves woke up to. And I'm not saying the infrastructure is the same, but I am saying that you can't go to the doctor. You might die having a baby. You ain't pulled your weight in the field today. You might not get no food. Oh, by the way, rain, snow, sleet, and hail ain't a reason not to come to work. Oh, you didn't pull your quota? Let me go ahead and take that house. Oh, you thought that you was going to get an education. Well, who your daddy then? Now, the default is lean into the spirituality and the religion that we feed you. Ooh, so that, you know, you find a little bit of comfort in this world. Let alone, what? Freedoms? You ain't got time to be thinking about freedom. You got a baby that's hungry, a roof that's leaking, and your boss ain't giving a damn about your familial issues or your mental health.
Let's pause right there. Since when are you entitled to all those things? Is it about slavery or is it about slavery or is it about being a functional adult in society? You're not entitled to all those things. You got to go out there and work. You have a home, you got children, you got to feed them. You got to take care of them. It's your responsibility, not somebody else's. If you made the kids, you got to feed the kids. What they say, if you can't feed them, don't breed them. How is it the government's responsibility? And the government is not even saying you can't have those things. The government says if you want benefits from us, if you want all these things, you got to put in some work. 20 hours a week, 80 hours in a month, it ain't that bad. If you think that it is, show me the country on planet Earth where that's not really your thing. What, somewhere in Europe? Okay, you're going to be over there looking like Afghanistan right now? Oh, okay. Hey, go to Africa with that same mentality where you are entitled for the government to take care of everything for you. And the African country run by African people. Go over there and do that. It's not about slavery. It's about being an adult that's functional in society. And now, for one, I'm tired of the EBT people speaking like that. Like they have to be given things by the government. It's not their responsibility, but people that have grown up like that their entire life and don't know anything else, they think like that. So they're talking about it's slavery to have to work for what you want, but really it's them who are in slavery mentally because they don't understand how to live without the government assisting them. That right there is slavery, in my humble opinion, because whenever the government needs you, you're going to be there because you have no other choice. That's slavery. True freedom is being able to go and do what you want, being able to make things, being able to do things on your own to generate revenue. That's true freedom. But yeah, shout out to you guys that understand that. I know y'all do. Okay. Now, this woman is getting to be, this woman right here is more realistic. Why do y'all really want the stamps? Why are you really upset the stamps are going away? Let's hear from her.
You know how many people I've seen sell food stamps to get their hair done, nails done, their toes done, buy an outfit to go to the club, drugs? A lot. If I've seen it, other people seen it. You know what? That's why people don't give two fucks. I've seen people, women, get a new man. The man got the food stamp. Now, the food stamp is for her and her kids. The man has the food stamp card and he in the grocery store buying shit that he want. People see that shit. You know what? They don't give two fucks. You know, some kids go to school and get breakfast and lunch, no dinner, because mama now sold the food stamps for shit that she wanted. Dumb people don't give two fucks. And people are saying, well, what about my kids? Well, yeah, what about your kids when you had the food stamps, you out there selling them? What did you think about your children then? The fucked up shit that people do, people see that. So now people are like, I don't care. Life is about to start life for a lot of people. But don't get mad when people don't give two fucks. Because we see so many people out there abusing that shit that they be like, I don't give a shit. You know, what about my kids? What about your kids when you was out there doing that fucked up shit with them food stamps? What about your kids then?
Hey, she nailed it. Look, hold on. She nailed it 100%. And let's talk about something right quick. The whole thing about the kids going to school and eating breakfast and lunch, they come with no dinner. See, that's the game, if y'all don't know. The school lunches are often free. The breakfast is free. The lunch is free. So you take from the state that way. And then when they come home, it ain't no food. Although the food stamps are for that purpose. You're not even feeding the kids with the money. You're using the money for whatever you want. Drugs, hair done, nails done, everything did. Be in the EBT office, fresh Jordans, fresh this, fresh that. Okay, we saw the guy, the white guy with the big dually work truck. No job at all. Talking about, okay, I'm on food stamps. Okay, this big dually work truck outside a trailer for what? You're not even working. They go out and just buy things that they want. They want to live high on the hog with no money and with no incentive to go out there and get any money. But they do have money because they got your money. They got the taxpayer money. They got monopoly money in their pocket that still work. Until it's not there anymore, then they want to say, I'm entitled. Nah. Go out there and work. How about that? If you want these things, go out there and work for it. Now, this man right here is a man after my own heart. And if you observe the people who are talking about this particular issue, look at them and how they look and see how they think. And it'll make sense. Okay, let's watch this.
Man, I'd be totally embarrassed if my kids were on EBT. If I found out they were on welfare system, I failed them. It's that simple. If I found out they were on EBT, I fucking failed them. It's that simple. If your children are on EBT and they're not blind, crippled, or crazy, you failed them. By the way, my first job at the telephone company, I worked right next to a dude that was blind. This man was blind. He had a dog with him and a cane, the whole 9 yards. but he worked something called TSPS. In other words, you had to type in numbers. So he had a little braille going. So if a blind man could work, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it at all. If a blind, I worked right next to this man. In fact, he had ladies. He had girlfriends and shit. So if a blind man could work, you can work. Why don't you just make black people proud too if you're black? Shouldn't you make black people proud? What happened to pride? You know? We're already down. You already feel like the cards are stacked against you. Well, go ahead and fight, man. Fight. Don't lay down and help me, give me stuff, please. I can't do anything for myself. Fuck that shit. You can do whatever you want to do. And if I don't say nothing else to you, you can do whatever you want to do on this earth.
Right on. Now, somebody say he's not cussing. He almost made it without cussing. He did pretty good, but that was right on the money. Listen, if your kids are not blind, crippled, crazy, 1,000 years old, whatever the case may be, and they're on food stamps, something happened. Something's wrong. Okay, maybe you got drugs involved, but I would feel like if that was my kids, that I failed, that I didn't do something to prepare them, that their failure to launch is somehow on me, because I would think that I would have given them the tools they would need to go out there and succeed in this country. That's what I would think. So what's really going on if you are not doing that? And furthermore, you said about pride, bring the pride back for black people. Yeah, pride got to be there because people don't have the pride that they should a lot of times. Meaning they don't really care to go into a place, hair done, nails done, everything did, talking about, can I get more food stamps? Can I get this? Can I get that? Handout. Asking for things, not actually having to work. Back in my day, if you were on any kind of food stamps, government assistance, it was a stigma attached to that. It was a stigma attached to that. It wasn't a cool thing. It wasn't a thing that people wanted you. You wouldn't want that information to be out there. But now it's like, whatever, I'm going to take from the government. And so what? That mentality can't be there. And the blind man working, listen, people, I've been in like Old Country Buffet, you be out there working with somebody that is clearly, you know, a little bit slower than everybody else, but still working. It was one guy that had like a little bit of muscular dystrophy, but he was still able to get around and move. Washing dishes. This guy was washing dishes with muscular dystrophy, a touch of it. He ain't had a cane, but he was like at the precipice of needing the cane with the, you know what I'm talking about. He almost had that, but he didn't have it. So people act like they got all these disabilities. Oh, I got this and I got that. Now, what you have is laziness. What you have is a big back and you don't want to do nothing. That's the truth. Okay, shout out to my man right there for laying it all the way down. Okay, my man right here is on the same page. And you can see, guys, black guys especially, when we're like in this age and we've been out here working for a long time and we're successful, we know what it takes to make it. So we're going to say that guys that don't know anything and are unsuccessful, they're going to say the exact opposite normally. Let's watch some of this.
I'm just going to say it and I don't care who get mad. Shouldn't no grown-ass, able-bodied people be freaking out about no food stamps. If you got 2 legs, 2 arms, you can get up and talk on the phone. You can get up and take your behind to work. I'm talking to able-bodied. I'm just going to...
Exactly. Able-bodied. That's the key. Because when this topic comes up, somebody always says, oh, I got a club foot, ABL. I got a bad knee. I got a bad back. I got a bad pinky toe. My ear hurt. My stomach hurt. All this, that, and the third. It's like, bro, you got all these excuses. You all right. Go out there and work. Okay, go out there and work. It's a guy right now working. His back is on fire. Listen, his back is on fire. His knee been on fire for the past 10 years, but he's still out there getting that money. Some people just want to sit on their hind parts, eat food, get fat, play video games, and do nothing. And that's when they say Americans don't want to work. Now, it's not Americans as a group. There are a group of Americans who don't want to work. And them, they got to get whipped into shape. Okay, now, we got a young guy. This is like the other guy's nephew. This is our nephew that can't get right. The one nephew that keep getting in trouble. He keep getting locked up. You got to go get him anyway. Let's hear from him.
In light of the government cutting SNAP benefits November 1st, I want to remind everybody that stealing is never wrong. Stealing from multi-billion-dollar businesses is always okay, if not encouraged, right? 5-finger discount. It's the best discount you could ever get. 5-finger discount. In light of...
There's so much there. First of all, where's your moral compass? Stealing is stealing. It don't matter who it's from. It could be from the brokest person, the richest person. Stealing is stealing. That's just the bottom line. Thou shalt not steal. That's easy. You don't got to be a Christian to follow that basic rule. Don't steal. And then beyond that, you have to understand when you steal from these big corporations and everybody has your mentality, stores are going to close down. This is why the Walmart lady from last week was saying, if you come in here trying to steal, I got the police on speed dial. I'm going to call them, because when you keep hitting the store, all they're going to do at a certain point is close down. So the jobs that are there are going to go away. The convenience the store gave to your community is going to go away. Then you're going to say, oh, we live in the food desert. We live in this desert and that desert. No. If you live in the desert, let's talk about why. It's because of you. It's because of y'all. Y'all don't want to do anything. Y'all not productive. You don't have any money. And all you were doing is stealing. So now the store said, you know what? Let's close up. Why are we going to be here? They know you're stealing. They know what's going on. They see you in the store stealing. They see the reports at the end of the month. They know they're losing money. So now it's not profitable to be there. So no, it's not okay to steal, because first of all, morality should kick in. But beyond that, all you're going to do is hurt your own community. You're going to eliminate jobs, eliminate resources for what? Because you want to be a lazy bum? Get off your hind parts and go work. How about that? That's what I would say. So yeah, shout out to our lazy nephew over there that don't want to do right. Now here's a good nephew. Okay, here's a good nephew. He going to school. He's in the military. He doing this thing. Okay, this is a nephew that's like, you know what? I'm so proud of him. He's doing the right thing. He's not a YN, a troublemaker, or any of that. Okay, he's not a ne'er-do-well. He's doing good in this world. When you go to the family function, you call everybody over and you heap praises on them. Oh, you're doing so well, my nephew. You are doing great. How is school going for you? You do that to him. Let's watch some of this.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. Like, the real reason why a lot of people are upset about this whole food stamps, SNAP benefit thing, bro, is because they're selling their food stamps, bro. They're selling them. I'm telling you, they are selling their food stamps, bro. You know how many people in New York and other states right now are going to the corner store, the deli, and they're selling their food stamps, bro? They're selling, that's why they're getting like $4,000, $3,000 in food stamps, and they're selling it for cash. They'll get $4,000 in food stamps, and they'll just take like $1,000 in cash. Like, bro, like, that's happening like everywhere. That's why they're mad. That is exactly why they're mad right now. And you know the thing about it too? They will never admit to selling their food stamps. But it's happening. All right, I'm gonna keep.
There we go. Shout out to our nephew with the do-rag up. Okay, I ain't mad at you, bro. You had the exact right thing to say. They're mad because they want to engage in fraud. And since when were you allowed to engage in fraud? I thought that was illegal. That's what I thought. I'm just saying. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I'm a hardworking guy. I don't take anything from anybody. I don't steal. I don't rob. I don't scam. So I guess I'm the odd guy out. Okay. Hey, we got some more from another good nephew out there making sense. Okay, making a whole lot of sense.
Hey, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say it one time and one time more. A lot of motherfuckers thinking it, but they ain't gonna say it. Listen here, I don't give a fuck about y'all losing y'all food stamp. I'm 25 with no motherfucking kids. I get up at 6 o'clock to go to work, and at the end of the work, I go coach kids. It's just not hard for you motherfuckers out here with kids. It's hard for us too. And I no fucking way do I want my hard-earned tax money going towards you and your 9 fucking kids just because you couldn't get off your fucking back and go get a job or tell a motherfucker to wear a car. So no, I do not give a fuck because you're losing your benefits. Bitch, get off your ass, go get a job, do what the fuck you gotta do.
I'm sorry, hold on. I'm so sorry for the cussing. I didn't know it was gonna be all that. I'm so sorry. So if you got little kids, please cover the ears. I'm so sorry. But so far, so good.
To raise your fucking kids because you fucking had them. I'm not paying for your fucking kids anymore. I don't give a fuck about that. Them kids can fucking starve. If you don't care enough to get off your ass and go feed them, why the fuck should my tax money have to do it? The using and abusing of the system is over. Cause us motherfuckers who can't get SNAP benefits or free medical, bitch, we still gotta make a way. So if they've been saying fuck us for the longest, it's fuck y'all. Tired of motherfuckers getting a free pass and I'm over here busting my ass without no help. Bitch, you could do the same. Sorry you made poor life choices.
There we go. So, hey, hey, my man was 100% right. My spirit animal right there. He said it. And a few more cuss words than I would use, but so what? What he said was right on point. Listen, you got a young dude, 25 years old, working and then coaching, going hard, using his youth to go out there and build something up for himself. That's how you do it. If you his age, able-bodied, and you just chilling, don't want to work, crying about food stamps, you're a loser. You're somebody that I don't want to be around at all. That kind of loser energy, loser vibes, doing nothing, I don't want anything to do with. My man right there, we need to clone him and just make him be the average everyday person. That's what I want. Okay, so yeah, shout out to my man 100% for keeping it all the way real. Okay, now, this young lady has a little bit of a different point of view, okay? Now, you already see the wait, what y'all call it? What y'all kids call it, the drip? And that what y'all call it? You see the drip already off the rip. Okay, let's hear what you got to say without, going too much off the appearance.
I'm wondering, do MAGA men think that because WIC and SNAP benefits are going away November 1st, that this is going to open up the pool of women that they can date? Because they're going to say, oh, single mom, she's already proven to be a breeder, and she's going to be broke and not able to feed her kids. What can I get away with? What can I do to her just so she can feed her kids? That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. They're going to be so disappointed. And because women have chosen the bear, and the next step in that is women choosing women, not in a gay way, but to live together and care for each other.
Okay, there is so much there. First of all, if you as a man go to some just, bumping the log, not working, chilling, and you try to make her be in your life some kind of way, you're just a fool if you do that. And I think a lot of conservative guys are not dumb like that. Okay, and a lot of conservative guys are married, got kids, they know what they're doing. They're not fools. Okay. What we want is for Americans to go out there and work for what they get. That's it. That's all we want. We work for what we get. You got to do the same thing. We're holding you to the same standards that we hold ourselves to. That's all. It's not about trying to take advantage of nobody or whatever. And how can I do that if I don't work? If I'm the guy that's working, if I'm the guy that's out there getting money, then why is that my fault? I want you to do the same thing that I'm doing. Okay, do the same thing that I'm doing. Go out there and work for a living. So, yeah, nah. That's not really it, Miss Lady. That's not really it. Let's let everybody go out there and do the right thing. Okay. Now, this young lady right here is a food stamp recipient. So maybe the first lady thought that I would want to take advantage of this young lady. I'm just saying, nothing against her. Shout out to her. That's not really my type. Okay. That's just, it's okay. It's okay. But let's hear from her first, shall we?
Employee of the school district. I only get paid once a month. By the time I get my bills paid, I have nothing left to pay for food and other basic needs. If it wasn't for SNAP benefits, I wouldn't be able to feed my children or myself. I work, pay my bills, and like every other mom, I want to be sure that I have enough food to put on the table. Employee of the school.
All right, there we go. So you are a school district employee. Are you a teacher? What do you actually do for a living? That's what I want to know. Are you a bus driver? Like, what's going on? You need to figure out a way to get more income. to get a better job, to do another job, to do something else. Okay, you ain't the first person to work more than one job or to improve your skills. There is a way for you to achieve more in your life and to have more than to just take from the government. Because again, if you take from the government, if you rely upon the government, they can change whatever they do at a moment's notice and leave you just in the lurch. You don't want that. You want more independence. You don't want to be a subject of the government in that way. You want to be a constituent, not a slave. So that'd be my advice. Go out there and do more. If you're a teacher and you're not getting paid enough, okay, what's your actual salary? What are you doing in the summertime? I want to know some more details aside from the fact you're just an employee of the school district. That's what I want to know. So yeah, shout out to her. Okay, Brian Payne says, looking at these comments, it goes to show Trump is right about his supporters. He loves the poorly educated. So Brian, what are some of the comments you got an issue with? Let me know. Talk to me now. Don't be afraid either. Let me know what you think are some of the bad comments. Okay. Now, this young lady, I suppose, says it's time to flip the tables when it comes to the benefits. Okay. Listen, the genders, y'all know me. I'm a little bit too old. I don't know nothing no more. I don't know what nobody is. I'm going to assume this is your young lady. At one point, you could say, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir, with certainty, right? I rarely ever said, yes, sir, and it was a young lady, or yes, ma'am, and it was a dude. I rarely ever said that. But nowadays.
And next week, when millions of people are going to have to resort to possibly stealing in order to feed themselves and their families, and the government complains, because they will complain about the crime rate going up, even though they're the ones who fucking did it. Make sure you point your anger at the system and the people at the top, because they're the ones who took the food away from families and poor people and starving children. The poor people just want to eat. They just want to survive like the rest of us. They just want to keep living like the rest of us. So when you see them stealing, because you will, because they're going to have to, make sure your anger isn't directed at the individual. This goes so much deeper. It's time to flip some fucking tables.
All right, there we go. So there's a lot. First of all, you have to be able to fend for yourself. You can't just rely upon the government. You can't just rely upon them. And then when they don't come through, you say, okay, we're going to go steal. Okay, so if not for the government, you wouldn't be able to survive. How can that be? You're living in a place, you got all kind of opportunity, all kind of ways to be able to make money, and you choose to not do that? Or is it like some have said earlier, where you guys just want the food stamp benefits to convert into cash to go get other things? You want to get drugs, you want to get hairs done, nails done, everything did. You want to get this luxury, that luxury, things you don't really deserve because you're not working for it. Okay, y'all not gonna miss no meals. I've yet to see someone saying that they need food stamps who was not at least about 300. Okay, you up there in the weight category. All right, like I said, if you could go a day or two with no food, it wouldn't hurt you. You'd be all right. I've done it. Hey, you know what? It's actually pretty cleansing. Do a fast, a 3-day fast, no food. Just drink a bottle of water. Just drink that and you be good. Okay? You can actually adjust to what's happening. You don't have to have the government be there for you. And then the food stamp thing is just one piece of the government dependence, because they also want the government to affirm their gender. Okay, you know what? I was born Hannah Montana, and now I feel like Ivan Drago, so I want to get a sex change. Let me get that on the house from the government. It's too much. The entitlement, the gimme nature cannot build anything in society. You become a bump on the log, a useless eater, someone who really shouldn't be tended to at all in this country. Especially if you're able-bodied. That's my thing. If you have a disability, you in the wheelchair, okay, you're 1,000 years old, okay. You're 28 years old, just chilling, eating food all day. Nah. Get off your hind parts. Oh, and the septum ring theory. Listen, the septum ring theory here is undefeated. The septum ring theory here is validated. And y'all know what that is. When you see the septum ring, when you see that, you already know kind of what's going on with them. It don't matter. They could be black, white, Puerto Rican, and Cayman stripe. The septum ring is universal. Male or female. If you see a male with a septum ring and funny hair, you already know what it is. You already know what it is. They say you can't just book by its cover. Oh, it might not be that way. You're judging them too quickly, but sometimes you absolutely can judge a book by its cover. All right. So yeah, shout out to the septum ring. Okay. And let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Now, I want to show one clip from the No King stuff because this kind of encapsulates the kind of people we're dealing with. This is the kind of people who, these are the kind of guys calling you a Nazi on the interwebs. These are the kind of guys talking about Orange Man bad, all this, that, and the third. Okay, let's take a look. Hold on. And RIP to the headphone user. Sorry for the loud noise. You see a sign right there. The real criminals are in the Oval Office. Let's watch.
What crimes have they committed?
Trump?
Yeah, the ones in the Oval Office. What crimes have those people committed?
You want to look it up on Wikipedia? There's like a list.
Well, you made the sign, so I'm asking you.
It's true. I'm at a protest, though.
Yeah.
I don't need to know anything. I'm here for my community.
Okay.
I don't need to know anything. Hey, I'm at a protest. I don't need to know anything. Captain Netbeard kept it all the way real. Hey, sir, I salute you because you were 100% honest. You're at this protest and you don't need to know anything. Let's keep going, shall we? And shout out to, who's this? Caitlin Bennett. Shout out to Caitlin Bennett.
So you make a sign about people being criminals, but you don't know what you made it for?
All right, so I make a sign supporting my community and the people in it. Yeah. And I'm not ashamed.
I know. You shouldn't be ashamed of your sign. I'm just asking what crimes they have committed.
I don't have to list them to you. You can simply look it up.
Have you done research? It's all over the media. Yeah, so I was just asking him, he's holding the sign, if he could just tell me what crimes people in the Oval Office have committed. You're holding it, so I thought maybe you could give it to me quickly.
I'm good.
What crimes
they never have anything. He said it though, but look, he said it because look, Caitlin, you did a good job at pressing them, trying to get the answer, but he answers you pretty quickly. I'm at a protest. I don't have to know anything. I'm just supporting my friends. I'm doing hood rat stuff for my friends. This is what he's doing. He's doing hood rat stuff with his friends. That's all. Okay, the D&D server is here. That's all. And shout out to the D&D players. I ain't trying to be funny, but that's kind of what's going on right there. Captain Netbeard is getting some R&R with his friends. That's all. I don't know anything. And that's the problem. They vote still. See, they still vote. That's the issue. They still vote. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. I have more. Do I have more? Hold on. Did y'all see Tucker with Nick? Do y'all want me to go there with Tucker and Nick? Okay. So Tucker Carlson interviewed Nick Fuentes. Now, I don't really like platforming the guy because I feel like the more you talk about him, the more he spreads. And I was getting a lot of questions last night on my Instagram about Nick Fuentes. And I always get asked about him. The thing about Nick is that he represents the young white male loser who wants to blame Israel when he doesn't have any money. He can be entertaining to some people, but like I said, when you're talking about an influencer, you, in my humble opinion, if you're asking me, you don't want to follow someone who has not really invested into the arena of personal development because you're not giving your audience anything that they can build with constructively. All you're giving them is mindless entertainment and blame the Jews because I'm broke and I'm an incel and I'm a loser. That's kind of like what's going on with Nick Fuentes, in my humble opinion. But Tucker Carlson did an interview. There's a backlash. I don't really get involved with the backlash. It's okay. But I'm going to ask y'all, what do y'all think about Nick Fuentes? Did you see the interview? What's your opinion on the whole situation? Let me know. Okay, you don't like Nick. from Incel, not ABL. 4 million views so far. Wow, that's pretty big. Is that on his YouTube channel or where is that the actual views? Let me check his YouTube and see what's going on. All right, so yeah, on YouTube, almost 4 million, 3.7 million views. That's quite a bit. I thought the interview was good, Les. Pecan Grover says, sounds like a good exchange. NKM says, all of us true MAGA people never paid attention to Nick Fuentes. Nika Tucker, our Fed spook, says the vapors. Hey, Taylor says he's not an incel, he's a closeted homosexual. Well, there we go. Butthead says, I always thought he was a leftist since the majority of left always talk about Israel. Eugene says Fuentes is very good on camera, but if you look into what he says about the Jews and the Talmud, it's a bunch of lies. Female Casey Royals fan says, I don't get why people like Nick Fuentes. I see certain YouTube channels and I don't watch him. But okay, an incel, that means involuntarily celibate. Involuntarily celibate. That's what that means. And a lot of these guys can become dangerous. And ultimately, it's the sign of a loser, in my opinion. Because it don't matter how short you are, how ugly you are, or whatever. If you have drive, determination, you're ambitious, you can be somebody, you can become somebody, you can have a life that you would like. You can have a good life if you have that type of determination in America. But if you don't, if you want to be in your mama's basement at 28, not working, then you're going to get what you get, which is not much. That's just the reality. Okay, I'm reading some of the comments. Candace and Nick sad. How were Candace and Nick linked together? Exile says it's too much of a loose cannon. Yoli says Fuentes is okay. ABL better or WBL better. Fabiano says W Nick, W Groypers. And you know what I see with the Groypers? Whenever I see them online, it's like trolls. It's like the old school trolls are coming back. It's like with his people, the Groypers, it's like the 12-year-old Xbox kids are now 25-year-old loser white males on the internet trolling. That's kind of what I see with them. That's kind of how it feels. And I want you guys to become somebody and become great. I don't want you to settle for mediocrity because the Jews did this and the Jews did that. I want you guys to succeed and excel. I want you guys to become somebody in this world and not just a bump in the law, crying and complaining in your mom's house at 28 years old. I don't want that for you guys. Okay. Carlita says they exemplify poor behavior, pointing fingers. Okay. Let me see. Okay, you meant ABL's better. Hold on. Billy says, I want to donate, but YouTube does not take EBT. Shout out to you. Rebel Without a Reason says he's watched the whole interview. He's not dumb. He gets a bad rap from clips. But the problem is the clips are what he says. You're not going to be able to find ABL saying the clip like what Nick Fuentes says because I don't say it. And that's the issue. See, you can listen to somebody who makes some sense a lot to you and says some things that are true, and it can have entertaining personality. You can enjoy watching them. But what's going to happen is you're going to start watching them and get exposed to the other stuff. The whole, I hate Israel. I hate the Jews. The Jews are the reason I don't have anything. And the reason why I'm broke. It kind of breeds a cycle of being a loser perpetually, in my humble opinion. And that's what I see from the supporters. Not all, but a lot. That's kind of who they are. And that's why he attracts those people, because they see themselves in him. A white male loser. That's the bottom line. I want you guys to win. I don't care what color you are. But that's what he attracts, in my humble opinion. Okay, let me see. Lawn Care Lover says, I'm pro Nick. That being said, he needs to not be homosexual. Okay. Let me see. I'm reading some of the comments. Pardon me. Yoli says ABL is honest and is a great communicator and very informative. Thank you. Susan Jones says, wasn't Nick friends with Laura Loomer? I have no idea. A lot of those people, Milo, Laura Loomer, they're completely weird in real life. And in general, completely weird. Okay, so there we go. That's pretty much that. I don't think I want to really hear from Nick on this channel. I'm going to try to minimize my coverage. But I saw that was an interview that was getting a lot of attention. Some people like it, you know, but that's not really, you know, it's not really for me. I'm not a young white male loser. I'm not blaming the Jews. Because really blaming the Jews is just an advanced form of blaming the white man. It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. When I was following like Elijah Muhammad, all of that stuff, not Elijah Muhammad, pardon me, Farrakhan, not Elijah. When I was following Farrakhan, that was kind of like what you would get into at a certain point with some of the guys. Not all, but some of the, you know, Nation of Islam guys, the Jew this, the Jew that. And what I was able to determine was this is a more woke and advanced way of saying white man this, white man that. And I always make jokes about blaming the white man every stream because that's what I think about it. It's a joke. I don't take that type of talk seriously at all. And I feel like it's negative self-talk because guys cannot succeed. So they got to blame somebody in order to stay where they at. That's what I felt when I was on that type of, when I was researching that in my 20s, that was my conclusion. And I still feel the same way right now at 41. That was my conclusion when I was like 26, 27, 28 years old. And I feel like that right now. Okay, Jew, Russia. Yeah, same thing. Same. Meme you says different or weird doesn't equal incorrect. I'm not quite sure that I said that he was different or weird. Y'all gotta just see what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about right there. Like, just, I don't know, man. It's like dealing with bad kids. And y'all are adults though. That's the thing. And if there's a discrepancy, if you say that I said something that you don't agree with, say what I said, and then say why you don't agree. Let's be clear. Let's be crystal clear with what's going on here. And that's why a few weeks ago we had the young white guy trolls, because that's the audience that he attracts. Okay, that's the audience right there. Now they come over here, they can get an education, and I can be the father figure to them because that's what they're looking for. A lot of guys know dad in their life, and they try to find how to really go to the next level of becoming the man. And that's why they look to a Nick, but Nick can't lead them because it's the blind leading the blind. That's why they come to a guy like me. But anyway, I'm triggered. But let's go to some super chats. Then we're going to get to some calls. The number to call is 706-40. There it is. 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. We got super chats on deck first. We got quite a few from Apu Bakar, our Puff Daddy. He says Don Lemon said Megyn Kelly looks trans. Do you think that Don Lemon has a secret crush Megyn Kelly? The less insults reveal what they believe. That's a good question, actually. Maybe he does. But I'm not quite sure that he wants a fake. I'm not quite sure that he wants that kind of man. You understand what I'm saying? I don't see Don Lemon as the kind of guy that want a lady boy or something like that. That's not really him. He's the kind of guy looking for, you know, the white man that he got. The corporate executive looking dude. That's what he wants. But anyway, Apu again says, opinion on Congresswoman Rosa, the lower purple hair. I don't know a lot about her. All I see is the funny outfits. I don't know a lot about her. Apu again says, South Korea gave President Trump a golden crown. Thoughts? Hilarious troll move because they keep talking about no kings over here in the USA. South Korea says, you know what? There go that hat. There go that crown right there. Wear that and really troll them. To me, it's hilarious. Apu says, Jimmy Kimmel offers to host President Trump in the verbal IQ contest with AOC and Jasmine Crockett. Should President Trump take up the offer? Why or why not? I'm not sure that he should do that, but I get it. But it might be a little bit too cringe for me personally. A little bit too cringe. I'm not sure we need to do that. And I don't think it's necessary because we'll need a test to see who has a higher IQ. Because at a certain point, you're able to just judge people. Okay, I heard you talk, I heard her talk, and I heard him talk. Out of the three, I'm able to rank you guys as far as your perceived intelligence. You put Trump at number 1, and number 2, A, and 2B would be Jasmine and AOC. They're kind of like on the same level, in my humble opinion. Just different accents. Tim the Beard says, ABL, what are you saying with Israel? Hey, man, Hopefully, they're able to do whatever they got to do to make sure they stay around. I don't think we should be involved with that. So whatever they got to do on their own, that's their business. Whatever happens over there between Israel and Palestine, that's their business. Whatever the Palestinians do, that's on them. Whatever the Israelis do, that's on them. So that's pretty much where I'm at on that. I don't think we should be involved with that. I think they should be a sovereign country and stand for themselves. Apu says, Belgian King Leopold caused a genocide of millions of innocent people in the Congo in the late 1800s or early 1900s. Dutch were good colonizers. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's why I said the Belgians. Like I was listing earlier, the best European colonizers in order. Okay, S rank, A rank, and how I go. I said the Kingdom of Great Britain, number one, the best. Anybody better than the Kingdom of Great Britain when they come to colonizing? They did commit some atrocities, especially with the partition in India, but that's a different story. But overall, they were the best. The worst is probably the French and maybe the Belgians. But the Belgians, aren't they like French as well? So still, I'm gonna count the Belgians as French, because where is Belgium, man? Ain't that like right next door? I'm gonna count, yeah, it's right next door. I'm gonna count the Belgians as French. Okay, Paris is right there. So nah, it's the same thing. Shout out to Apu again that says Roman Empire were the best colonizers, aqueducts. Okay, well, I'm not mad at that. Shout out to the Roman Empire. Mauricio says Schrodinger's Bell, they are simultaneously racist and woke until one benefits them more. Right on. Thank you to Marta, who says no to communism. Go ask the Chinese about it. No way. Thank you to Taylor Langley, who says ABL, have you heard about these new home robots dropping? They are being sold as AI, but it's actually an Indian controlling the robot in your home remote. That's crazy. That's crazy. So you got this robot in your house doing whatever it wants to do, observing the whole situation. Meanwhile, it's a guy playing video games basically in your house. No thanks. Michael Critchlow says, did you see Bill Gates 180 on climate change? I did not, but I wouldn't be surprised. Thank you to Jack Black, who says domestics, I say law enforcement doesn't respond and let them sort it out. Send in social workers. There you go. Exactly. Thank you to Summer Shield, who says let the snap expire. Too much fraud. 60% illegal aliens. Right on. Thank you to the white man for gifting 5 ABL memberships. Thank you to GB Vu, who says these brainwashed zombies ready to protest any cause the Democrats tell them to. 100%. Thank you to Nan Cook 1977, who says, why is it always the creatures from Stranger Things season 2 complaining about things they can control? Hey, that's a great question, man. I don't know what to tell you. Thank you to GB Vu, who says, last night South Korea's Democrat county president set Trump up, giving them a gold crown following the No Kings protest. Like I said, I think it's a funny troll. Hilarious. And thank you to Lothair, who says, Nick Butt Wipes is throwing a hissy fit right now because Trump took away his EBT card. Now he cannot blame the Jews. Now he's going to fund his Xbox and meth lab. Is he really? No way. No way that guy's on EBT. That'd be crazy if he was. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Let's get to a few calls. The number to call is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. Let's go ahead and get rocking and rolling. And shout out to you guys again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the interwebs. But there's no way that guy's using EBT. I mean, come on. That's crazy. That's totally out of this world. Like, I don't know if I believe that. Okay, let's go to 859. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
How's it going? Luciferian Libertarian here. Combination of Hamion Lay and Anton LaVey. I'm just chilling out in the White Castle, man, on my break. And I've been listening to the podcast. What's up with you, buddy?
Everything good, man. Can't complain. What's happening?
Oh, man, this living life. I've been listening to it, and you know what? I've heard about the kerfuffle about the EBT stuff and how the government shut down. And I personally, my opinion, I think it's both sides they're throwing shade and they're having disagreements, and it's on both sides. And I think both sides have their own agenda on different things. But I don't agree with the whole food stamps going away, because I'm more worried about the kids, and I think it's ridiculous and messed up. All these adults are acting like little scam artists by taking EBT cards, and I've seen it myself. Other people have seen it myself. and sold it for concert tickets, sold it for meals, sold it for payment on the car, not on towards their kids or their food. And it's ridiculous. A lot of people have been living in these neighborhoods, and the most people who do complain about the EBT card going away is the ones who are scamming it. And that's not fair to me because you're stealing my tax money. That money should be going to a kid. And I'm not necessarily a fan of some, put restrictions on it. But whose fault is that? It's people who are ruining the system and ruin it for everybody else. And we have to suffer on the behalf of some idiots who decided, hey, we're not trustworthy people. We're going to go ahead and screw the system while kids starve to death. These people are selfish who complain about it online. Oh, they're taking my EBT cards. Like, what about the freaking kids? What about the kids? If you're not a mom or a dad, why am I concerned? And that's the thing is, I've always been a working class guy. I never had to deal with, government influence or anything like that of like EBT or food stamps. Even when I was growing up, I had to worry about it when I got a kid, and the ones who rip off the system I grew up with when I was a kid, when I was living in the hood, I stopped being friends with them for a reason because they were holding me down. Am I right or am I wrong, ABL?
About what specifically? About being friends with those that hold you down and you're not being able to advance? Yeah, that's you're 100% right.
Yeah, absolutely. And the exact same people who be scamming them. And it makes me mad because people are just mad about Trump or mad about the government. And yeah, I don't blame them to be mad at both parties of this circumstances, the government shutting down. But really, it's the people who be scamming the system. It doesn't matter if it's Mr. Hobo Trailer Park and Bud White, sorry about the cussing, Nick taking his EBT card and scamming the system, or if it was a major corporation. It's still not right, regardless if it's a corporation or the guy living in the trailer park.
So I got to ask you a question. So is Nick really actually talking about EBT cards?
It's an insult. It's an insult.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, like, wait a minute. Like, what's going on?
I'm just saying a lot of these guys who are the Nazis, they're just a bunch of prison trash people who they have no political power, and I'm tired of people saying, "Oh, they support Trump." No, they don't. They never support Trump. They literally think he's a Jewish person. They think Trump's me. That I'm a quarter Israeli. They think I'm related to him. That's how delusional they think that they are. And you're right, man. Hey, thank you very much for taking my phone call, man. Hey, much love to you, man. Hey, we agree, disagree, but hey, man, I love you when you take my phone call. See you later, man. Luciferian Libertarian out, bro.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it.
No problem, man. See you.
All right, shout out to the caller. And shout out to you guys for rocking and rolling to get a number to call, 706-406-3287. The number is always in the description and also on a ticker on the video below me. It'll come across whenever it needs to be. Who am I speaking to online? 417? Hello, 417.
How's it going?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Oh, not much.
Hold on. Before we go, turn it off in the background, please.
Yep, got that done. I was just trying to figure out like a reference. Like people are like it all over the place. I'm seeing it saying illegals getting health care with the bill they're trying to pass, but I can't find the reference for it. Is there like a certain reference I can find, or? Well,
I can find it for you, but I can't do it right now on the air. But that's what's happening. Now, if I can find it at a later date, I'll put it up on my social media, and you're able to see it there.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, it's fine. That's the main thing. I was just trying to figure it out the other day, and so.
All right, man. Well, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate it.
Yeah. Have a good one.
All right, there we go. So, I mean, I've seen it being said specifically about the healthcare for illegal aliens. But if you guys have an article or something like that, you can find my man. Y'all let me know the particular website they go where you can read that and get the correct information. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me see if I could do it right now since I'm on the internet. And I got the, I got the power of AI right in front of me with Grok. Shout out to Grok. And they're going to give me a source. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. I I'm gonna ask the thing a question. I ain't gonna tell you what I'm gonna say. And I'm gonna let y'all know what I get. If I get a link, I'm gonna put it in the chat. And the number again, 706-406-3287. The number is always in the ticker, on the ticker, and also in the description box. Yeah, the Googles. I guess the new way now is to search with AI. What's back to you on line 617?
Hey, what's going on, ABL?
What's happening?
Hey, question for you, man. You say you're a journalist? You consider yourself a journalist?
Ask a question.
No, you consider
Let's
yourself
just
a journalist.
okay. We're not gonna play like this. Just get to the question you want to ask.
Why you post videos and you don't even know those videos that you posting are real?
Okay, which
Like
video you
the video
talking
that you
about? Which one you talking about?
The video that you posted, the video you posted of the woman that she was gonna go out to the stores and rob people and rob stores because of her food stamps. Do you know that she's
I did
a
that.
YouTuber, right?
I did that. When did I do that?
Well, check it out. Check out your stacks. And then the
Hold on.
Wait.
You saying I did something. When did I do this?
You posted that video.
Okay, when?
You posted a video. I don't remember, bro. I mean,
all right. Okay, so you accused me of doing something, but you don't even know. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me get to the latest video that they post that the man is say, I cannot work 80 hours a week, and because
a month,
you don't know the situation.
A month.
You don't know this, huh?
A month. You say 80 hours a week. You say 80 hours a month.
80 hours a month. Well, first of all, you don't know the guy suffer from a mental illness. You don't know if the video is real. You don't know if this guy has kids with disability. You know what a journalist or a researcher will do instead? Do you know what they will do?
What would they do?
They will go out. They will contact the National Poverty Center that have all the stacks when it comes to people that collect snaps. People that are working, people that are not working, why, how, and why do you interview two or three of those families that they are for real, instead to be posting videos that you don't even know the videos are real. Wait
a minute now. The video you're talking about came from the news out there in New York. So wait a minute. So wait. Excuse me now. Let me finish. So is it me that needs to check it, or is it the news?
Well, but you promoting it though.
No. Is it me? Because you're saying it's my fault. But the news posted it. I didn't post it. I just reacted to what the news posted. So is it my fault or their fault? Wait, no. Because it's the same way. If I post like the whole Hunter Biden laptop story, I had a news source. It wasn't just me saying that this was on the laptop. I had a news source. In this case, it was a news source. So if I post a source, or is it my fault or the source's fault?
But don't you think it would be more effective if you go out and then you do your own diligence, to do your own research?
For what though? To find, like, okay, what am I going to find that I don't know? I'm posting. It was a news source. I read the article and it was a news video. So what are you talking about?
But okay, so the news goes out and grab a man, and then they say they interviewed him, and then they found him in the street, because that's what they're doing now. And they say, well, why you don't work? And well, I cannot work 80 hours a week. Why you don't do a real diligence and interview the whole family and know the situation? Why these people really snap?
Oh my goodness! Like that's so silly, man. You're hilarious. You're funny. I mean, really, what's happening? Really, no. Really, what's happening is no. Let me just talk. What's happening is you didn't realize that was a news video. You wanted to blame me. Now you want to move the goalposts. I prove you wrong. Okay. Your next topic.
The topic is that you promote videos.
Next topic.
Video help you to make money.
No, because it's not my fault. It's the news. If I post something no. If I post something that has a news source, you can't say I'm at fault for posting something that the news posted, because they posted it. And we expect a Fox 5 New York, a big TV station with real journalists, as you would say, we expect them to put out real information. So you shouldn't be trying to point the finger at ABL, pointing the finger at Fox 5 New York.
ABL, you are not a journalist.
Okay.
You're an
Okay. So
entertainer
so
who
wait.
promotes-
So wait. So wait. No. I'm just fun. You like to watch me. Okay. No. Be quiet. Shut up. Are the people over at Fox 5 News? Nope. Because I got you, and you know I got you.
You said it.
No. Are the people over at Fox 5 New York real journalists? Yes or no?
Some of them, there might be journalists.
Nah. See. You can't just. So let me ask you a question. Who are the real journalists, in your opinion?
In my opinion, the real journalist is people that go out and get this sort of information. For example, you might have a situation in ABC location. They go out there and they explain exactly what they saw, exactly with the data and information. That's a journalist.
Huh?
We don't have journalists anymore. Because everything is about views. The person that gets more views is the one that makes more money. So MSNBC, CNN, ABC, all of them, they're competing with YouTubers and people that promote videos. Can you believe, like Stephen Smith, that is a sport commentator, now is in politics? Do you really believe this guy is a journalist for news media, for politics?
Well, he's a commentator. It's a difference.
Oh, okay. He's a political commentator, and he switched to political commentator that doesn't know anything about politics, is doing extremely well financially in that field. Charlemagne the God. Do you think really he is really some sort of a... No, these people are not.
Some sort of what? Some sort of... No, wait. Some sort of what? Like, what is it supposed to be?
They're entertainers. They pull...
He's a commentator. He's a commentator. You watch him, you watch me, and you watch Stephen A. Smith. He's a commentator.
Well,
so it's okay.
Because you need...
No. You watch all of them. You don't just watch. You watch all of them that you mentioned. That's why you mention them.
Well, you know what I watch.
And at a certain point, people are going to watch them. That's why they exist. You can watch, C-SPAN. You can watch people on the Capitol Hill just talk. You can watch that if you want to. You don't have to watch ABL or Stephen A. or Charlemagne the Guy if you don't want to. You can watch C-SPAN all day and enjoy that.
I don't have to. No, you're right. I don't have to. But my question is, why are you promote videos for the most part that you don't even know their source, or there are other YouTubers that promote the video? For example, you promote a video about the government, a lady that was saying that the government buy people's houses. And I challenge you, and then you change the topic, and you promote many of those, but I just don't watch the whole video, but I know the video is garbage. Because it's about for you to make views so you can make that money. That I'm correct.
You're a hater. You just a hater because I make money.
No, he's no hater.
You a hater. Look, man. If you need some money, just say that. If you broke, just say that. If you want to figure out how to be an influencer, just ask me. That's all you got to do.
I don't want to be an influencer.
I can't tell because you always bring up money. You always bring up you watching my pockets.
That's the connection.
Stop being a hater and go out there and get some money. How about that?
No.
If you spent less of your time hating on conservative black men, you have some money for yourself. How about that?
Okay, so do you believe that most people that are in the SNAP program don't need the SNAP program? Yes or no?
Say that one more time.
Do you believe people that are in the SNAP program need the SNAP program? Yes or no?
I don't know. I can't. How am I going to know that?
Oh, you don't know because you haven't do the research.
You can't do research to figure that out. What are you going to do? Because if you did a poll and asked people, they could tell you anything. How are you going to know that?
But Paul, you gotta go to the research.
Okay. We don't got all day. So just tell me what research I should do. Specific. No. Come on. Shut your mouth. You fat strap. For 1 second. What should I do as far as research is concerned?
This is what you should do. Okay. This is what you should do. For example, you wanna talk about, for example, the problem with housing. You say, oh, we don't need housing, but go to the housing development program and do.
Did I say that? I didn't say that. Now you're making up stuff. I never said we don't need housing.
Not making up stuff. You say, oh, those programs, blah blah blah, those programs for the liberal media and the liberals.
See, you just watching too many guys. You watching too many guys and getting me confused. I never said we don't need housing. I said if you deport illegal. Excuse me, quiet. I said if you deport illegal aliens, you're going to have magically more housing. And I said that there's a housing shortage because you got so many illegal aliens. But
you say the liberals want to keep people trapped on those programs. Yes or no?
Yes, they do. Yes, absolutely.
How do you know that people don't need your program and the liberals want to keep in trap?
That's not. You're asking me. Well, quiet. Let me answer the question. You asked me two different things. Having them trapped on the program, that doesn't mean like their desire to keep them on the program forever it doesn't mean that there are not those who may need it. Like I said, you have the elderly and disabled, people that actually need it. If you're able-bodied and you refuse to work, you can't anybody hear you. If you're able-bodied and you refuse to work, then you don't need them. Okay, but I can't tell who I don't know everybody's situation. So when you asking me, hey, do you think that they all need it? You're asking me a broad question or something that's kind of unrelated to the first question, but that'd be a wrap. Thank you for the call. Appreciate it. All right, there we go. That is quite enough of that. But yeah, look, man, if you a hater and you trying to get some money, just say that. Don't worry about don't watch my pockets. If you want an ABL starter kit, a lesson plan to go out there and make some money, just say that. It's okay. It's totally fine. You know, but rather than hating on conservative black men all day, trolling their chat, because I've heard you in other chats, others have heard you as well. Rather than doing that, focus on yourself, focus on getting some money, and you won't even have time to be worried about trolling me. How you going to be 40 years old and a troll? Anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, I got time for a few more calls. Then I wrap it on up, put the bow clean on top. Hey, he not gonna come on the screen next to me. It ain't that he ain't gonna want to do that, because when they see him, it's gonna be like when they had the debate. What was that, Nixon or whatever, and he was sweating. It's gonna be like that. All right, let's get to the next call here. Unknown caller, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
I got a call in sometimes. Hi. Yeah, so I was watching, I think it was Candace Owens, and she showed us a couple of texts that Charlie Kirk had sent. I believe it was her, not between Charlie Kirk and his friend or colleague. And he was worried that the Israeli sponsors that he had rejected at the tune of, I think, what was $150 million might be upset with him, and he was very worried that they would kill him. Are you aware of that?
I'm not really up on the latest Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk stuff, so I don't know anything about that.
And as for Fuentes, I remember seeing him I think 5 years ago, and he seemed pretty smart. I haven't seen him much since then until I was watching him on a show called InfoWars. That's InfoWars, INFOWARS, with Alex Jones, just this afternoon. And I didn't hear Fuentes say anything that was upsetting, but I still have to watch the Tucker Carlson interview with Fuentes to learn more, because only fools are sure and the wise keep on guessing. I want to know more. I don't want to be prejudiced. And being weird, sometimes people that are different, it doesn't mean that they're wrong.
Hold on. Was that you in the chat? Hold on. Was that you in the chat that said that?
No, I'm just saying that if he still lives at home, it could be because he's trying to save up money. Although if he has 4 million views on YouTube, I'm guessing, I don't know where you saw that, wouldn't that mean that he has like $1,000 coming to him by next month or something in the mail? Unless he was barred from YouTube and X or Facebook or whatever you call it, Twitter, then he cannot collect any money, which would force him to then stay at home with his mom, which, by the way, is okay.
Okay, let me just pause. First of all, how old are you?
I don't disclose my age. Why do you want to know my age?
You young white guy?
Say it again?
Are you a young white guy?
I don't. I look at the content of the character, but so long.
But how did I know that? How did I know that?
No what? No what?
That you're a young white guy.
No what? No what?
That you're a young white guy. Come
Wait,
on, man,
you
be
asked
honest.
me a question.
Be honest. How did I know that?
Know what? That I'm a what?
All right. I'm gonna just move on from that. But here's the thing: if you have his level of popularity, you should be able to make that monetizable in some kind of way. If YouTube is not doing it for you, you can find another way. it's guys that are not monetized. Like my man, shout out to Coach Greg Adams. Shout out to him. I don't want to bring him into this, but he's a good example. Not monetized on YouTube, is still making a lot of money. Traveling the world, living his best. He's taking care of his kids and everything. 2 kids, traveling the world, living his best life. No YouTube monetization. Nick Fuentes, with his level of popularity, should be able to have enough money to move out of his house. But he is not ambitious enough. He's kind of, like I said earlier, that white male loser. Blaming the Jews. Excuse me. Blaming the Jews because he doesn't have what he think he should have. Meanwhile, others go out there and get it, but he doesn't want to get it. And you sound like you're following his footsteps. That's what it sounds like to me.
Okay, well, I don't want to be prejudiced or make a rush of judgment, as my favorite Johnny Cochran would say, which is why I want to learn more about Mr. Fuentes without prejudice. Number 2, there's a lot of social dynamics in what psychologists call a controlled environment. A lot of people that are successful that are on one side of a border or in a certain part of the city, say north is Orlando is different from South Orlando. You can have a lot of, I won't get too complicated on you. And what you have is certain social dynamics and politics or politricks where there's a lot of haters, a lot of people that are jealous, envious, or as I call it, 3 S's. That's racist, jealous, and envious. Yes, I coined the term. A lot of people copy my terms. So, and that's cool, that's fine. And due to this sort of racist, jealous, envious, hater, non-progressive, oppressive attitudes, a lot of people cannot make it. Because if you're smart, if you're okay looking, intelligent, articulate, and you like to tell the truth, they're going to try and chop you down.
Who is they?
Charlie Kirk.
Who is
Charlie Kirk found out, unfortunately. Malcolm X found out.
Excuse me.
Names. What?
Excuse me. Hello. Excuse me. Who is they?
Honest politicians get chopped down too. So
wait, sir. Please, excuse me. When you say they are going to chop you down, they take you down. Who is they?
Anyone who hates the truth. There's a lot of people interviewed on campuses, and they hate the truth. They're lovers of lies, and they are liars. This is nothing alien to our listeners on the ABL show. All right? We know who they are. The people who hate truth, they're liars. They spread lies, confusion. They're the authors of confusion. They destroy, lie, and steal.
So
you watched them on your show for the past 2 hours.
Excuse me, how do they accomplish what they're trying to accomplish? Because people can say whatever they want. Hold on, let me finish. Hold on, sir. You got to control yourself now. Come on, let's get it together. So, how do they accomplish that? People can say whatever they want to say, but how are they able to actually stifle you and stop you from doing what you want to do in this country? Tell me how.
Because that's the key phrase there. Do. It's not what they say. It's not only what they say. Because it's what they do.
How
right? By the time it reaches, I'm telling you, I'm breaking it for you. By the time it reaches their lips, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. And the actions and micro movements, if you know how to read body language and such, you could see the hatred in their face. How they're in key positions. There's a lot of teachers miseducating children. I repeat, controlled environment. Not in your town or your city. A lot of people can say, oh, well, ABL's this or mischaracterize you. I don't know you personally. But, ABL may not have the experience. ABL may not be in the heart. Listen without cutting me off. You can learn, actually. Might learn something here. In the heart, of the experimental, number 1 experimental place in the whole world where they're starting these things. It's cooked up in the lab over here. Well, we know about things, some of us know about things long before it's on your show, years later. There's a lot of controlled environment going on where they want to hire the stupidest, dumbest, ugliest, most unqualified person so they can make a mess of everything and then teach your kids that if they look in the mirror for 8 seconds, then they are homosexual. And if you look at someone of the same sex for 8 seconds, then you're a homosexual. That's what they're teaching here. And if you guys don't know about it and you say, well, those things don't happen to me, you must be crazy. Like certain people would say 20 years ago or less. That doesn't mean because you don't get violated that people don't get violated. In fact, if it comes to your town, you might be next. Or if you come to my town, you might be next. Or they'll act like they're your friend only because you're a tall guy. Hey there, big guy. What about that basketball game? Eh? All kinds of angles. And you would never be the wiser because like the other ones with inexperience, without the experience, you just don't know. So when you lack experience, you really think some people are bullcrapping you. But when I come to your town, I don't know your town personally. When I come to your town,
man,
I'm treated like a prince. I'm treated like a prince. I get job offers left, right, and center. I'm treated real good.
Land your plane.
And if I...
All right, man. Have a good night. See what I'm talking about? That's what I'm saying right there. That's the Nick Fuentes viewer, listener. Like, what are you even talking about, bro? What are we saying? My question to you, if you're listening, I want you to hear this. My question to you was, how do these haters who have all this hatred in their heart accomplish their task of stifling someone's progression? And you've been on this whole big rant about nothing for like 2-3 minutes. Talking so I could learn something. Learn what? Learn how to, I don't know, man. Shout out to you, though. Thank you for calling, man. I appreciate you for your call. But nah, man, you have much to learn yourself, actually. And I would tell you guys, just like that, to stop listening to your Nick Fuentes, because that's what I'm talking about. I need you guys to really advance your mind in the true way, to get true clarity, to understand what's really happening in this world and in this country for sure. Okay? So that right there was a great call because it kind of illustrated my point, underlined my point that I made about a Nick and the kind of viewers that he attracts. You see? It's simple as that. So yeah, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. That'll be a wrap for the calls. I'll be back live again on Saturday. Same bat time, same bat place. 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm here every day putting out pre-recorded content on the YouTubes, on the Instagrams, on the Facebooks, on the Twitters. TikTok, not for real, because TikTok, I'm a little bit too hard for TikTok. I'm a little bit too smart and a little bit too rough for TikTok, I suppose. I feel like I'm just saying regular stuff, but I guess it's not that way. Like when I was at Jubilee, I said one little thing in the beginning, everybody blows up, the Mexican novella, all of that type of stuff. It's like, what did I say that was so bad? Y'all just too soft and too offensive all the time. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I will see you guys on the next live. I will see you guys on the next pre-recorded video. And before I wrap it on up, put the bow on top. Again, shout out to everybody for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you do. I could not do the show without you. Thank you to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all for that as well. I almost said thanks to trolls. I almost think no trolls. Shout out to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all for what y'all do. I know I couldn't do it without you. I got one last super chat. Thank you to Baka MIT who says B Tatum is getting $25,000 a month for that commercial he put out. Tell Ivan to put that in his pipe and smoke it. Hey, man, Ivan and other guys just kind of hating. And it's like, yo, don't hate. Figure out how you can get what they get, or don't even covet the next man and his possessions. Figure out the way to live your best life, whatever that is. If you want to have a lot of money, okay, what are you going to do to put in that work to get that money? You see the guys in first class on the airplane, they're on their phone the entire time they taxiing until the moment they say doom, and you got to put everything up. And right when they land, right back on the phone, right back to it. Their sleep schedule is kind of crazy. They hitting that, they doing that to stay up. Do you want to do all that to get that kind of money? Okay, if you do, well, that land is available to you in this country. Now, if you have a more, a moderate lifestyle, you can have that kind of life. Whatever life you want in this country, you got to do things to be able to accomplish that. Blaming the white man, blaming the J, blaming this and blaming that ain't going to accomplish it for you, because no matter how much you blame the white man, no matter how much you blame the J, no matter how much you blame the YN or the black man, no matter how much you do that, it won't put one more red cent in your pocket. You could sit there in your mom's basement till you get to be 50 years old with a big social media following. So what? You popular on the internet, but you a bum in real life. So what? Who cares? When your parents are not there to take care of you anymore, what are you going to do for your future? What's going to happen? What's going to be the next course of action for you? This is why I tell you guys, Nick Fuentes ain't the kind of guy you want to be following, especially if you're a young guy and you look to him as an influencer, someone you want to be like, because you're going to be a loser just like he is, ultimately. You are the sum of those you spend the most time with, or those sometimes that you consume. You're going to be like them. And if you don't want to be a loser, you shouldn't be consuming the content of a loser, in my humble opinion. But that's just me. Y'all might think differently, but I think that's the way to go about it. Me, I'm always trying to learn more. I'm trying to learn more. If I follow a person, it needs to be somebody that I can learn from, that I can be educated from, that I can actually gain something constructive from, not just someone that I can relate to while I'm in the place of not fulfilling my total purpose in this world. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. That'll be a wrap for me. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.